iron it and stuff, but whatever. I have like a darker red, and I wanted this red. I went with the tie that needs help. But other than that, I got my suit. So I got the pants, a little line, well, kind of off to the side here. Hold on. Got the little stripe thingy. Yeah, this is the other red's too dark, so I had to go with this one. But it was previously tied, and then I didn't retie it, but it needs help. So anyway, did everything to get ready for this. I got my hair did. By that I mean I did my hair. I haven't seen me in a suit, so yeah, you're probably you're right there with me. So anyway, I wanted to put a webcam further back and then stand up and voice act, but I just wanted to get this over with. So anyway. Hilarious? You mean hilarious? You mean amazing? I think you mean amazing. Okay. Amazingly hilarious? What? Heck yeah, I'm wearing the pin. That's why I have the pin. The pin is to be worn. I finally have a suit to wear it on. Where's my phone? There's my phone. Everything is saved, so everything is saved except for when I like do another stream before or after this. All the Ace Attorney stuff is saved. So there's gonna be like 10 minutes of me sitting there waiting that I'll probably cut out. Other than that, everything should be saved. What are they doing? Yeah, I was gonna set up that Kingdom Hearts Dark Road auto battle, so it'll just sit there doing that. Wear it to the wedding. I'll pay to do that. Of course I'll wear it to the wedding. That's the point. That's the point. It's only safe for 2 weeks unless it's everything is highlighted. Every Ace Attorney stream is highlighted. Some of the other streams aren't, like if I'm playing League of Legends or something. Every Ace Attorney stream is highlighted. Man, this tie needs help. I just don't know how to tie ties. It's really hot, by the way. If I start sweating, I probably will remove at least the tie or something. So just so you know, if there's, if nothing else, I might like put shorts on and just have this overcoat thingy with the badge on it. With the tie and pin? Yeah, of course. That's the. I might wear the darker red tie. I'm actually not sure yet, but I kind of like how this one pops against the darkness of the suit because it's really a dark blue suit, but looks on camera it's not too bad. Well, yeah, I'll probably wear this part with the badge if nothing else. So, set that up. Okay. So anyways, Ace Attorney. Yeah, I wish you could go too. Investigation part 3. Yep. Okay, it looks like I have the guide right where it needs to be. And this is kind of in my face a little bit, so I wonder if I can adjust this. I can adjust it down, but I can't really adjust it up. I'm gonna adjust this part of it then. Okay. All right, that's a bit better. Okay. I am actually starting to sweat. I wanted to wear this for at least part of the stream, but I haven't even said a single line of dialogue and I'm starting to sweat. Holy cow. It's hot here and we don't have the air conditioning on, so because it's not like that hot. It's, I don't know what it is, 80 or something, but wearing this in 80 is a bit hot, so I'll probably just take this off. Hey, there goes Sam. Wonder where he's going. Looks like he's going to my car. Send me a full Send me a full body selfie. Oh boy. I'm not wearing the shoes either, cause screw that. Sam did it? Oh right, like who did it? Hey, hold on. Is there a way to put a timer on this? I bet there is. Gotta be. Sure, I've done it before. This isn't full body, but it's about as close as I can get. Uh, Great ace. Picture in my messy room. All right. This one's 80s. Oh my gosh, that's perfect with that background. Gotta get one more. I gotta get one more. I'm sending you pictures. Okay. Freaking okay. I don't even need Disneyland after that. Best gift ever. Like the side by side. Wish I could do my hair like his. Fine footage. Okay. So anyway, I'm gonna actually do the stream. The stream's been up for 20 minutes and nothing's happened. I'm gonna take this tie off. Hey, there goes Alina. Bye, Alina. Oh, maybe I should go see my dad first. Well, it looks like nobody is home somehow, despite the fact that I don't see how everybody could be gone because the cars are here. But anyway, yeah, of course I shaved. I'm wearing a suit. I think I'm gonna wear a suit and not shave. What am I, Godot? I just need a little air. Ugh. That alone's gonna do a lot. Okay. On September, I'm bringing the suit. No, I'm not bringing the suit when I visit. This thing's expensive. For a wedding in October. Where was I? Please keep the hair? Probably? I don't know. I sent it to Bruce and I was like, you're right, the badge looks great on a suit. Okay. I'm gonna actually play the game now. It's been almost 25 minutes. Not in a plastic bag. After you cut it, you Oh, like a joke. Bring my hair in a bag. Okay. And you're like, okay, we'll play the game. Look, I'm Randall Light. I'm on Randall Light's picture. You know, I'm glad we found the urn and all, but poor Mr. Delight got arrested again. Well, supposedly Mr. Delight was in the CEO's office when the murder occurred.
No way, Jose, I don't buy it.
But the one who proved that Mr. Delight was there was Mr. Nick himself. At least from what I can understand.
Looks like you did too good a job this time, Nick.
Well, how about we get started looking into the KB security murder?
I think I'm going to head back to Curane Village for a little while, if that's alright.
Sure, but why?
I'm going to bring the sacred urn back and have some people take a look at it.
Oh, that's a good idea. I think I'll go with...
No, Mystic Maya, you should stay here. I want you two to spend some special quality time together, full of love and happiness.
Pearls is so caught up in her fantasy, she forgot there's a murder to solve. Sacred urn given to Pearls.
Now remember, no fighting, okay?
She's gone.
Okay, Nick, let's get going on this investigation murder.
I said it backwards. Murder investigation. I'll talk about the sacred urn. You must be relieved we got the sacred urn back, huh?
You bet. But there's something a little different about it. Don't question mark at me, it's pretty obvious, isn't it? I mean, take a look at this. It clearly says I am in the urn on the poster. But the urn we got back says Amy, like it always used to.
I'm not even going to remember this stream. What? Better. Oh yeah, you're right.
Plus, the vase has pink splotches on it now. I'm sure they went there before.
Maya doesn't know, but 1 year ago, when the urn was broken, the repairer accidentally turned Mystic Amy's name into I Am. And that repairer was one mechanically unskilled Little Pearls. But still, I don't remember ever seeing pink splotches on it.
Is it possible that the urn is a fake?
I'm sure Pearls will find out about that once she gets back to the Curane Village.
Yeah, I suppose.
Now that I think about it, Maya hasn't been back to the Curane Village in a long time. So I guess people still go to Curane Village to do their training, right?
Yep. If you want to become a spirit medium, you need to undergo severe training.
So why haven't you been training lately, Maya?
Well, lately I've been thinking of heading to a channeling dojo to do just that.
Because Suit wearing long-haired, clean-shaven boyfriend is on stream. A channeling dojo, huh? Sounds pretty serious, whatever that is.
If you're going to train, you have to be serious. Otherwise, real tragedies can happen.
Is that what happened last year? Is what happened last year still bothering you? Hey, there's my dad. That murder in her village. It happened because the power of channeling was misused.
When a medium uses the Curane technique, he temporarily loses her will.
So when an especially strong spirit is summoned, the spirit's medium can get taken over and even forced to commit terrible crimes. I don't think that's actually canon. I'm confused as to... What's worse, in those cases, the spirit medium has no memory of what happened. I feel like they're adding rules to this. That murder, it wasn't your fault, Maya. You know that, don't you? Especially since you literally didn't do it.
I suppose not, but I guess I'm still a bit shaken up, that's all.
It sounds like being the Master of Curane is going to be a heavy responsibility. Oh, it actually wants me to talk to Maya, so I'll talk about what to do. So what do we do now?
Isn't it obvious? We should get out there and investigate the murder.
Well, first we need to find out exactly where KB Security is located.
Hey, why don't we ask Miss Delight? She should know. Besides, I want to ask her some stuff about motorcycles.
They probably are for plot convenience. Maybe. Motorcycles? You're not thinking of getting one, are you?
I'm not the same little Maya who used to be happy with her dinky little bike, Nicky boy.
Speaking of asking around, I got a few questions of my own for Mr. Delight.
Okay, well, let's make sure to get over to the detention center, too.
Okay. Probably what I needed to do so I could go ask Miss Delight. Oh, Nicky boy, Maya. Miss Delight. All I wanted to do was help my dear Ronnie. Yeah, but I guess it ended up hurting his case.
Don't say that, Nick. She doesn't need your help beating herself up.
Hey, Nicky boy, please help Ronnie. He's not a killer. I swear, my Ronnie wouldn't hurt a fly.
Alright, I'll poke around and see what I can find out.
Really? Are you serious? Oh, I'm so happy. I knew asking for your help was the right thing to do. I don't know what I could do to help anymore.
I had no idea Mr. Light had such a vulnerable side.
Listen carefully, Nicky boy. My Ronnie would never kill anyone. It's just not in him.
I don't think he would either, Nick.
Yeah, but you have to admit he's got a bit of a temper to him. It's not that hard to imagine him snapping and screaming, "Please die!"
He would never say that. Anyway, Mr. Light, he might not be a killer, but he's still going around saying that he's the thief.
I already told you. It's just a fantasy for him.
Mr. Light, I hate to say it, but you're the one living in a fantasy world.
What? How dare you say that to me, Nicky boy? I know everything about my Ronnie. We don't have any secrets between us. Ronnie isn't the thieving type.
He's so honest that he wouldn't even sneak a nap. He's so honest that he wouldn't even steal a glance.
A thief? Ha! The very idea.
I guess I just don't get it.
Get what?
I just can't understand how they can be so different and yet be such a happy couple.
Yeah, they sure are different.
Come on now, Nicky boy. It's not that mysterious, is it? It was love at first sight. For me, anyway.
What? For you?
I hate these kind of people more than anything.
Talking about look at me.
You mean ace detectives?
No, I'm fine with ace detectives.
So you must mean thieves?
No, they're all right too. I just hate thieves that pretend to be ace detectives. There's nothing I hate more than cowardly men.
By the way, why did you go to Detective Atmy's office anyway?
Well, as the trial went on, I started to get more and more anxious. I went there to try and find out more about the real criminal.
The real criminal?
Yes, obviously, the mask star to mask is not my Ronnie, right?
Yeah?
Detective Atmy knew more about Mask to Mask than anybody else. They mentioned him on the Great People Around Town segment on TV.
So then, you went there to ask him some questions?
That's right. I'll do whatever it takes to save my man. His secretary said, the ace detective isn't in right now. But I forced my way past her and into his hideout.
I wouldn't exactly call that office of his a hideout.
That bag was sitting right there on top of the table.
Oh yeah, we saw... Oh, whoops.
Oh yeah, we saw that bag there yesterday, too, as well.
There's nothing lower than someone who would try to pin a crime on someone else.
KB Security.
Mr. Light, do you know about KB Security?
Don't be silly, of course I do. That's where my Ronnie works.
So she still thinks he works there, huh? And yet, according to what we heard today...
Come on, don't tell me you didn't know. Ron DeLight was once an employee of KB Security. He was a professional security guard.
Ron quit. He doesn't work there anymore.
Looks like Mr. Light doesn't know.
KB Security is only about 20 minutes away by motorcycle, that is.
Larry told me it takes 30 minutes by car.
Well, I have to admit I tend to fly pretty fast on my bike.
Make it to KB Security that fast. Are you sure you aren't literally flying?
Why don't I give you a ride sometime, or better yet, how about now?
No, I'll pass, thanks. Why don't you just tell us where it is and we'll go ourselves?
Ah, what a scary cat you are, Nick.
Mr. Light told us the location of KB Security. It just skips it, because there's not like a map or anything.
Okay, let's head over there right away, Nick.
Love at first sight.
So is it really love at first sight when you first met Mr. Delight?
Well, maybe not at first sight, but Ronnie saved my life.
Saved your life?
I was at work one day when two robbers suddenly rushed in. Well, I'm not the kind to just curl up into a little ball in a corner, so I fought back.
Robbers?
Yes, they took me hostage. I was so frightened. They were both carrying these huge knives, and I broke down into tears.
Yeah, I would too if I were in that situation.
Oh, I think I get it. Did Mr. Delight come running to save you?
Yes, exactly. I remember he looked so handsome in that guard uniform of his. He went right up to those two knife-wielding robbers and screamed in their faces.
I don't know why. Why is there something funny about this? I'm not sure why. Is it the robbers' expressions or? I don't know.
Please stop it! He screamed at the top, and he screamed. I could see the robber's face turn pale.
That high-pitched shriek of his does have a surprisingly strong effect on people.
Then, crying and swinging his arms like crazy, he attacked the two robbers. All by himself. He came to save me, a total stranger, all by himself. He was so scared that he was crying and shaking, but he still risked his life for me.
Wow, that's a great story.
Yeah, he may not look it, but in a tough situation, there's no one better. That's why I fell in love with him like I did.
That's so romantic. I'd fall in love too, I guess. That's so random.
Nick, I hope you do the same for me if I ever get taken hostage. Again, I guess.
With Maya, that possibility always seems to loom in the not-so-distant future. Gulp. Robbers. I know, I had to do it. This is stupid Ronnie thing. I had to do robbers because it just handed it to me. October 13th, KB Security CEO's office. So I guess this is where it all went down, huh?
The walls in here look thick, just like you'd expect in a CEO's office.
What's that got to do with anything?
Hey, it's you guys!
Oh, it's Detective Gumshoe.
Today was a real train wreck for you guys, huh?
Sure was, pal. Sure was, pal. That prosecution made real fools out of us.
Yeah, I feel for you. Also, don't imitate me, it's weird.
Well, that's not like you at all. I thought you'd be more like...
Oh, that was great. You guys did...
Oh, that was great. You guys deserved what you got, pal. Ho, 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 ho.
I said stop imitating me.
Or something to...
Or something to that effect.
Do I really sound like that to you, pal?
If the gumshoe fits.
Well, anyway. The point is, I can tell when someone puts their heart into their jobs. And I can sympathize when things don't go your way. Sometimes, I feel like wrong is the only way things go for us detectives.
Wow, I had no idea Detective Gumshoe was such a nice guy.
Really? Took you to game 3 to realize he was a nice guy? Now, if this little love fest is over, maybe we can start investigating. Let's talk to Gumshoe.
Detective Gumshoe, tell us what you know about the murder.
Okay, but the thing is, I'm really not supposed to.
Hey, come on, what about how we put our heart into our work? Things are really working against us right now and we need help.
Oh, okay, I'll tell you. Just don't start crying on me, okay, pal?
Okay, I won't cry on you, pal.
The victim's name is Kane Bullard. He's the CEO of KB Security and a pretty big fella in his own right. His corpse was discovered at 9 a.m. this morning. I'm assuming it's 9 a.m. because I didn't actually say a.m. and Blake just kind of added that in later. His estimated time of death was 1 o'clock in the morning on October 12th. Because the cause of death was blunt force trauma to the head, probably an object in this room.
It happened at exactly the same time that Mask started Mask stealing the urn, huh? Did he kill him with the urn? Does this guy bleed pink blood?
So, why did it almost take an entire day to discover the body?
Wait, an entire day? I thought it was 1 a.m. to 9 a.m. Because there was nobody there. What?
There's a good explanation for that one. Bullet's body was stashed away inside that safe.
Safe? Well, it is pretty big.
Nobody had heard from him, and when they opened the safe this morning, he came out.
Oh, so the body fell out. That white string must be the shape from when he fell out.
I think we still need some more information about Mr. Billiard.
Maybe you could start by getting the man's name right. Yeah, pink blood, because Maybe he Danganronpa'd all over the, where is it? Where's the urn? What? Do I not have a picture of the urn in pink? What? I guess I don't. It's weird they showed it to me so many times and I don't have it.
So, what happened to Mask the Mask?
He's at the detention cell screaming like a madman. Investigate me again! He keeps yelling. No, I didn't mean him. He's not the real thief anyway, right? Oh, you mean that detective at me? Ho 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 ho. Oh, that was great. That guy got what he deserved.
No, that the detective I know. Now that's the detective I know and love.
Think about it. Atme was always around when a calling card showed up, but he always mysteriously disappeared and the heist took place. I was hiding at the crime scenes. Whoa-wee! Haha, yeah, right. That's the lamest thing I ever heard. Now that's how you know he's the real thief.
That would explain how he was able to retrieve the stolen item that he keeps bragging about.
Yeah, he just did that to make himself look like a great detective. That's all. But there's still one thing I can't figure out about his first heist.
His first heist?
Yeah, the Teal of Amenon case. There was a witness on that one.
The witness.
Yeah, I saved a newspaper clipping. Since the thief is already under arrest, you guys can keep it.
Hey, this guard?
Hey, this guard here. Haven't I seen him before?
Pretty small, so it's hard to see, but now that she mentions it... Newspaper clipping. That guard. We're on to light. Prosecutor Godot.
Oh, that prosecutor. I really don't like that guy. The way he used our own evidence to do that to Mr. Delight.
Yeah, I think he did that way just because he knew it would hurt more. That's what my gut tells me anyway.
So who is that Java-addicted masked maniac anyway? Who is this masked man?
Prosecutor Godot? He is quite the enigma, huh? The thing is, pal, I never even heard of that guy before. He just showed up one day at the prosecutor's office. Came out of nowhere.
That's right, he said this was his first case as a prosecutor.
And it's true, according to the records anyway. But there's no way he's an amateur. And he's an Iceman in court, a maverick that gives me goosebumps.
Goosebumps? You?
Yeah, I knew something was off about him, so I asked around. Nobody would talk to me. They all just turned the other way.
Poor Detective Gumshoe. I had no idea you were so unpopular.
No, that's not what I meant.
That Godot guy acts like he knows me and has a grudge against me. I get the feeling he's hiding some kind of dark secret. Like some dark coffee. Or something. Oh, wait. Let's talk about Mr. Billiard Guy. How do I... Oh, oops. Gotta do it like this.
Detective Gumshoe, tell us more about Mr. Shane Bluebard.
That's Kane Bullard, not Shane Bluebald, pal.
Oh yeah, the victim in this case just doesn't make much of an impression on me.
Well, you were the victim up until Mr. Bullard was found dead. Well, you were the victim up until Mr. Bullard was found dead.
Yeah, and his body wasn't discovered until this morning.
Anyway, we don't have enough information yet. Can you help us out?
Sorry, I'm actually a little confused myself. For some reason, I'm just blabbing like an idiot right now.
Okay, Nick, now's our chance to get more info about the victim, so hurry up and ask.
I'm blabbering like an idiot.
Oh, the victim. Can you tell us some more about Mr. Bullard?
He was the CEO of KB Security, right? What kind of company is it anyway?
I think the wife did it dressed as him. Well, the company basically sent security teams out to buildings to guard them. Oh. I honestly can't remember. Oh, man. Has something to do with that first heist. I just don't remember.
Mr. Bullard must have had the chance to learn about a lot of secrets doing this kind of work.
Oh, and
I don't know how to put this, but the guy was kind of a money guabble.
Really? Me too. I just love money. I can't ever get enough.
Please stop leaning in towards me like that. You aren't getting to my wallet.
Anyway, it looks like he did some pretty shifty stuff to earn his millions.
Oh, so that's my problem. I need to be shiftier.
Let go of me already.
Apparently, he was involved in selling trade secrets between rival companies.
Oh, that's pretty dirty and underhanded.
Yeah. Oh, KB Security used to head security operations against Mask to Mask.
What? Really?
Yeah, and after screwing up so many times, the company's reputation took a nosedive.
So it really was Bullard who sent Ron the blackmail letter, huh? That it? Okay. Examine this. Check out this big thick binder here.
Leave the heavy lifting to me, Nick.
Reading a file isn't exactly backbreaking work, just a little hard on the eyes. Ah!
What did you find out, Nick?
This file, it's not about any sort of security operations or anything. This huge file is all about Mask Star to Mask. It's filled up with info on him.
What? What kind of info?
It's filled with incredibly detailed information about his methods and the crime scenes.
Hey, Nick, look at the last page.
It's a list. Let's see. Tier of Eminon, $100,000. This looks like a list of all the treasures that Mask to Mask stole.
Then the $100,000 is the value of the stolen item?
I don't know that number's. I don't know. That number sounds kind of low to me. I think I'd better secretly make a copy of this list. Were they making their security guard places and then instead steal the items? And then he would sell them or something? Is that how much people would pay him to guard those items? I don't know. Kane's list out of the court record.
This rope. You think it fell out of the safe when it was opened?
I don't think so.
So you mean...
Yeah, I think this is string that shows where how the corpses land.
You mean the victim, he was killed by being crushed by the safe door?
She can't be serious, can she?
You think about it, a dead guy was laying in here all night.
Yeah, they do that in caskets too, pal. But anyway, don't bother asking about the fingerprints. There were none.
Well, somebody opened the safe on the night of the crime, right?
Yeah, and so?
Well, if Mr. Bullard's body was hidden in here, it must mean that it was opened by either the killer or the victim, right?
Yeah, I guess so.
Well, there's probably only a few people that know how to open it.
Ho 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 ho! I got some bad news for you, pal. Are you ready?
Okay, shoot.
Opening this baby is no piece of cake. There were only a few people who know how to open this safe, pal.
Yeah, and?
Everyone that knows how to open this safe had airtight alibis. I checked. Everyone except one, that is...
I'm almost afraid to ask.
Former security chief, Juan Delight. Juan.
What? Ron Delight, he was a security chief?
Ron, so he knew how to open the safe, huh?
Yeah, sorry for winning on your parade there, pal.
Oh, look at that huge framed photo.
Tall mountains rising majestically against a dark, cloudy sky.
There's a title written at the bottom of the photo. The greatest sunrise of my life. This is it? This was his best sunrise?
Either this guy didn't get out enough, or he really had rotten luck with the weather.
Maybe if he had lived a little longer, he would have seen some better days.
What's this huge red button?
Oh, there's a button here. Let's see.
Hey, cut it out! Don't press that!
Haha, that was pretty funny. I never knew Detective Gumshoe could jump like that.
What's that button anyway?
It's an emergency buzzer. It says right there on the panel, pal.
Oh, you're right. It's written right there. Nick, how many times have I told you to read the instructions first?
That alarm's connected to the basement guard room. It's used to summon security up here.
Really? Then it's possible that on the night of the crime...
Oh, so when CEO was attacked, do you think that maybe he pressed the buzzer?
this guy died. Kane Bullard, CEO of KB Security.
Yeah, I thought about that, so I asked around down now. But they said that the buzzer never went off that night. So, also, we couldn't find any fingerprints on the buzzer. Mr. Bullard, the victim wasn't wearing any gloves, by the way, just so you know.
I think we better go and talk to that guard about this emergency buzzer. What guard? What are they talking about? So Gumshoe just gave us a bunch of stuff because he's a useful fellow and everybody likes him. Now where do I go? Oh, there's a security room. Let's go there. Wow. This is really something else.
For a security guard office, it sure doesn't feel very secure.
KB security guard. Uh-oh. I just remembered Larry might be...
Hey Nick, what's up?
So he is here.
Yo, how's it hanging, dude? You got my sweet little Maya with you too. Hi, Larry. Here I was working my fingers to the bone. In walks an angel. I got no problems with the daytime date. It's all good.
No, that's not what we're here for. We're investigating the Bullard murder case.
Oh yeah, that's right. You're a lawyer, aren't you?
He's so hopelessly clueless.
Well, if it's about the murder case, boy, have I got some good info for you.
Really? Oh, sorry.
Really? What is it? Well, I don't mind sharing it with my sweet little Maya. But Nick here's a different story. But Larry, I thought you two were old school buddies. That was then and this is now.
Screw you, Larry. Okay, so in this room there's an Easter egg somewhere.
That's my partner's seat.
Your partner?
Well, that's what I call her. She's my superior, actually. Kind of a weird old lady. There's tea spilling out all over the machine, you know. Oh, don't worry about it. Just the other day, I spilled some chocolate milk on mine. Still works fine, more or less. They really know how to build them, I guess.
Something is written on this poster in fine print.
The God's 5 commandments. Oh, this sounds serious. Let's see what it says. Number 1, obey thy superior. Number 2, respect thy superior. Number 3, smile at thy superior. Number 4, salute thy superior. Number 5, buy donut for thy superior upon command. It's signed Wendy Oldbeg, head supervisor. She's the one. She's one tough old bird, let me tell you. Cross her and you come face to face with the real, genuine ray gun.
Yeah, sounds scary, alright.
Well, fortunately, she's on vacation. That's why I'm so relaxed right now.
There you go. Hey, Larry, that's your jacket, isn't it?
That's right. Did you know you hung it right on top of some kind of lever? Yeah, sure. I was told to never, ever touch that lever. She scowled and huffed at me. Something terrible will happen if you do. Got a greenhorn. So that's why you hang your jacket on such an important lever? Because it got me curious. The jacket's weight pulls down on the lever. That's what they call an accident. Doesn't the suspense just kill you? Don't you want to know what'll happen? Huh? It's true. It's killing me too. What about you, Nick?
Yeah, but for a different reason. Yeah, it kind of does, doesn't he? There's this hidden Mickey right there.
Oh, take a look at the things here. Hey, Larry, what are they?
Did you just say,
Hey man, it's not like I even have to know what they are to do my job. I always thought they were just some kind of decoration or something. Oh boy.
How did this guy ever get a job here anyway? There, right there, the hidden Mickey. Circle, circle, fat circle. Look, there's this chocolate milk. Is there anything I have to do here? No, not really. You're just supposed to talk to butts.
The screens show what's going on all over the building, everywhere. My job to keep a steady eye on them, all of them.
theme song does this random fast bit that makes my heart confused. I know, it's weird, isn't it? I wouldn't sound so smug if I were you.
Then you watch the regular TV on these too?
If anyone would sit here and watch TV instead of working, it's Larry.
Hey Maya, I'm not a pro, okay? I'm a pro, okay? Besides, you can't get regular TV on it.
How do you know that, Larry?
Because that was my first bit of investigation, if you know what I mean. I know what you're thinking. It was a professional investigation, alright?
Alright, that's enough of randomly chatting with Larry. Let's get down to the brass tacks, because I think that Larry has brass tacks. What a weird saying. Good info. So what's this good info you're talking about, Larry?
Hey, I'm a guard, a pro. Can't just give any information away for free.
He wants a bribe? I thought professionals were more, I don't know, honest? Can you talk to him, Maya?
Larry, tell us already. What's the good info? Hey, I like that. This little kitten's got some claws, okay? You really want to know? Yes, tell me. Okay, so the thing is, Rhonda Light was an employee here. Naturally, since I'm a pro, I looked into his background. Follow me? Yes, you're a pro. I follow you. Go on. Well, 1 year ago, Rhonda Light was fired. And there was no warning at all. It just happened all of a sudden.
Sorry.
I know this is a small company, but I think that was pretty awful. I guess he must have done something bad to have gotten fired like that. Yeah, maybe like skipping out on work to pick up hot chicks or something.
No, that's just you. Security guard. What's it like to be a part-time security guard?
Let me tell you, it's tough. Well, you know me, I get by alright, I guess. First, I have to keep my eye on those monitors all the time. Monitors? There are security cameras set in each room around the building. It's really hard. Sometimes I feel like my eyes are gonna fall out. Oh! And if I see something suspicious, I have to contact one of the teams. What teams? The security teams for this company. They're supposedly the best in the business. But I'm no amateur either, so if it's something small, I don't bother calling them.
So in other words, you basically watch TV screens all day long. None of the crime. You were in this office when the murder took place, weren't you? He probably saw something minor and didn't call anybody.
Yeah, I saw some fat guy getting murdered, but like, I figured I could handle it or whatever. It'll probably just go away soon.
Okay.
Why do you say that? This is just a part-time job for me, and I can't operate the equipment, and I'm dumb.
Even if it's part-time and you're dumb, you're still in charge of security here.
Hey, give me a break. Don't try to pin this whole thing on me. That's not fair, Nick.
What?
I don't think you can expect someone like him to take any responsibility.
Anyway, the point is that you were here that night, right? Larry, oh no. I knew something smelled bad, and it was the butts after all.
Well, it's like I always say, that was then and this is now, okay?
It looks like I'm going to have to break his psych locks after all. Oh, which I apparently can right now, because I have all the evidence and he's just being a butt face. So you only talk to Maya, huh? Let me try my lawyering hand on it, and then we'll see who's withholding what evidence. Okay. Freaking late. Night of the crime. On the night of the crime, were you working hard like you were supposed to?
What? Huh? Of course I was. Why wouldn't I have been?
But didn't you sneak out from work yesterday just to go see Miss Delight?
But that was that, and this was this.
Is there any chance that you snuck out of work last night to...
Never! I never sneak out. I didn't sneak out, I'll tell you what. I'll even bet you $1.
$1? Wow, now that's confidence.
What's with that drenched in rain puppy look on your face? Do you even have evidence that I left my position, or are you just pulling my chain?
The evidence that Larry was not manning his station when the murder happened is... the button? There's no fingerprints on it. Oh, was it wrong? What? Ron's wallet. Oh, but he didn't see Ron? This wallet. You know about this, right?
I've never seen it before.
Liar! You hand-delivered this wallet to Mr. Light just yesterday.
Give me a break. You can't expect me to remember every little thing that happens.
Well, I do expect you to remember something that happened just yesterday. What time was it when you found this wallet?
I guess it was around 1 o'clock in the morning on the first floor of our company building.
1 o'clock. Oh,
1 o'clock in the morning?
that's right. In other words, Larry, at the time of the murder, you were away from the security guard office.
Yeah, but there's something you didn't think about.
What's that?
My shift that day didn't start until 10 p.m.
Do you have the guide up? Yes. If not, you present the wrong evidence, do you lose life? Yes, you do. But when you finish this, they also regain, like, I think up to half your health. And you can't die from this. So pretty much what can happen is if you screw up an investigation, the worst that can happen is that you'll be, like, missing a little bit of health going into court. Like, I think you get like 10 bars or something, and you'll be missing like 4, I think.
The murder might have snuck in before then.
What do you mean by that?
The murder had snuck in before 10 p.m. And it wasn't my fault. It was the fault of the guy whose shift was before mine.
Why do I get the feeling that he still doesn't get how the seriousness of this? Listen up, Larry. We know beyond the shadow of a doubt that the killer snuck into the CEO's office after 10 p.m. during your shift. Because of the key card that you gave us, I think? Larry, when you use this key card, does it leave a record?
Yeah, it does. But I can't show the record to just anyone, you know.
That keycard data was already made public in the trial today.
What? I didn't know that. Any kind of request for info like that is supposed to go through me.
Boy, does that sound a bit arrogant coming from a part-time guard. Anyway, according to the data, the door to the CEO's office is opened with this card. Furthermore, it was most definitely used at 1 a.m., the time of the murder.
No way.
Yes, someone used this to get into the CEO's office. It happened to be at 1 a.m. on the night of the crime, right in the middle of your shift. Why don't we just look at the cameras?
Oh.
Larry, you can't duck your responsibility this time.
Yeah, Gyar!
Gyar?
No! Oh, I knew it. It's all my fault. It's my fault that the boss was killed. My fault. Larry, there was nothing I could do. I have important issues to deal with too, man.
What happened to that night, anyway?
My Donna happened.
Huh? Oh, sorry.
Huh? You're Donna?
I got a bad feeling about this.
Yeah, my Donna called and said, I have to talk to you right away. I went to see her and he was standing there, right next to her. Who was? Her new boyfriend. Like it was some horrible joke. Before I knew what was going on, the guy socked me right in the kisser. Normally I'm the one that does the punching, ain't that right, Maya? Yeah.
So that's why you left the security guard office?
Well, I'm sorry. It was all my fault. How can I ever make up for it, Nick? What can I do? What? He's curled up on the floor, crying like a baby. Nick, is there anything I could do? Anything, just name it. I'll do whatever I have to do to make up for it. I swear I will.
Larry?
Hey, Nick, as long as he's offering, why don't you show him the evidence we've got?
She's right. Maybe we'll get at least one useful bit of information from him?
Nick! Nick!
Alright, what am I showing this guy? What am I showing this guy? Alright, Mr. Larry. Sent the stuff, talked to him about the thing. Sent the buzzer.
The buzzer in the CEO's office is directly connected to this room, right?
That's right. Just like my heart is connected to yours, Maya.
Huh?
Go ahead, Maya. Press the buzzer in your heart. Promise I'll come running to your rescue, like the professional guard I am.
Wow, that was pretty good.
Thanks, I try. Do you think you could tell us about the buzzer now?
Yes, please. Please tell us.
Okay, I guess so. Prepare to be wowed.
I accidentally pressed the buzzer earlier.
Yeah, I heard it. That was you, huh? Well, Maya's legal now, barely. Yeah, she's 19, that's fine. You're a security guard, aren't you? Why didn't you come to the CEO's office?
Well, this is the 3rd floor of the basement. The CEO's office is on the 1st floor.
3rd floor of the base. Oh, 3 floors underground. Got it.
Thought it would be a good idea to adopt a wait and see approach.
Plus, there's a police detective here, right?
I just didn't think I was necessary.
It's as if he's trying to win an award for the laziest person on the planet.
Let's get back to talking about the night of the murder, okay? Is it true that the buzzer didn't go off that night?
There must be a record, right? You must have looked at it, right?
Of course I did, and I couldn't possibly have made that a mistake either. Do you think you could take just one more look at it for me, pretty please?
Oh, okay. I just can't say no to you, Maya.
What do you think, Nick?
He's probably right. I don't think even Larry can make a mistake like that.
What is it? What's wrong?
I made a mistake.
Huh? But how?
It can't be. It's impossible. Okay, enough already. What about the records?
That night, it went off just once. In the morning, around 1 a.m. 1 a.m.? That's when the murder happened.
Really? Are you serious? It's terrible, it can't be. Was a record added to the court record? Well, anyway, Larry. I'm just gonna leave you here sweating and we're gonna go back to the basement warehouse. Hey, pal. I got a question for you. Okay, bye, pal.
Treasure of Karen exhibit is all ruined now.
Maya.
I'm sorry, it's just so sad. It was a big chance for everyone to learn about spirit channeling.
Maybe I could cheer her up somehow. Well, now that we've got the sacred urn back, maybe they can reopen it?
Really?
Sure, maybe we can label it Urn of Masked Desires. That would probably attract a lot of attention.
Whoa, that's brilliant, Nick. We could clean up and be filthy rich. Woohoo!
Wow, that was surprisingly easy. Oh right, we're supposed to go to the basement. I don't know how you're supposed to know that. Probably not. You're supposed to just wander around like normal Phoenix, right?
Oh, it's you, Mr. Wright.
Miss Andrews, what's she still hanging around here for?
So, how's it going? How about that sacred urn, huh?
The urn? Oh, that? It's already been taken care of.
What do you mean? Oh, that.
Taken care of? Do you mean it's been found?
Yes. It was brought in during the trial today.
Wow, really? You guys are the greatest, You really are the greatest, Mr. Wright.
Mr. Wright had nothing to do with it. It was the Mask's wife that found it.
And then I determined that it was that guy stole it based off my fingerprints on it.
Well, anyway, I'm so relieved. I just heard all about it on the news. So that detective was actually the thief all along.
It looks that way right now.
It's my fault. I'm the one who ended up hiring the Mask to guard the treasures.
Don't blame yourself, you were just doing your job.
Nick, if she wants to apologize, you should let her. So, when was it that you hired Detective Atme again?
About 20 days ago.
And when was it when Mask to Mask was calling card arrived?
That was about 10 days ago.
So he sent a calling card to the very place he was hired to guard.
Guess that's it then. Detective Atme must have really wanted the secret urn after all.
Wait. Ron Delight was at the first heist of Mask to Mask. Right? I was just saying that Ron Delight was at the first heist of Mask to Mask, so he knows about that calling card probably too. Since he knows about that emblem. Guess so.
What? So Master Mask murdered someone as well?
Well, that's how things look right now.
Yes, but I thought that he was here stealing the urn at the time.
Well, we're talking about a criminal mastermind, so anything's possible.
Nick, let's get down to business. To defeat the Hans. Already. On the night of the theft, did you notice anything suspicious about Detective Atme?
No, I couldn't have. After all, he was hidden the entire time. I never even got a glimpse of him.
He claims that that's the way he always operates.
That's just what he says, so he can have an alibi when he commits the thefts himself.
Yeah, he was caught on the crime scene. He was caught in the crime scene photo dressed up as Mask to Mask pretty well. Did you send me daughters when I asked for sons? Yes! Okay.
I'm so glad you got your sacred urn back.
Yes, but there's still something that bothers me about it.
What is it?
I'm not exactly sure, but somehow the urn that came back seems different.
Really?
You wouldn't know anything about that, would you, Miss Andrews?
No, I don't know anything. Why would I? It's not like I dropped it and broke it in some paint that was on the ground and then put it back together and then tried to polish the paint off.
Cyclox!
What do you think this means, Nick?
It means the person that holds the secret to the mystery of the sacred urn is our very own Miss Adrian Andrews! She did it! She murdered the urn! Anyway, we'll talk to you later, Miss Andrews.
Number 13, Detention Center, Visitors Room.
Ah, Mr. Wright! Mr. Delight, did they finish their interrogation? Yes, but please don't leave me alone anymore.
Mr. Delight, you lied to us before, didn't you?
Well, you see...
On the same night the sacred urn was stolen from Lordly Taylor's department store, a blackmail letter you got summoned you to the KB security to hand over some... A blackmail letter you got summoned you to KB security to hand over some money. And then, that's where the CEO, Kane Bullard, was murdered. But there's only one Ron Delight, am I right? Unless there's two Ron Delights. You have a twin brother? You must have a twin brother. I knew it. You don't have the evidence for the Cyclox? Nope, not yet. And the only question is, where were you that night? This time I want to hear the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, and by the way, your life depends on it. If you don't tell me the truth, I will lie to the court and say that you're a murderer and make sure that you're dead. I'm just kidding, by the way.
Okay.
Mask star to mask. Mr. Delight, do you still insist that you are Mask Star to Mask?
Isn't that what I've been saying since yesterday? It was quite a quick response.
Tell me about it. To be honest, it's starting to get irritating.
But listen, Mr. Delight. The trial today, we learned the true identity of the thief, didn't we?
Take a good look, everyone. Unable to find a rival worthy of my genius, I was forced to create one myself. Here I am, the tragic clown.
I guess it's true. I wasn't the only one who stole that urn. Of course not. After all, you were at KB Security at the time.
So then the person dressed up at Mask Star to Mask in this photo,
It's got to be Detective Atomy.
So that night, you didn't go to Lordly Taylor, but you went to KB Security, right?
Yes, I went to KB Security at the time of the blackout. At the time the blackout note said I should. All right, what happened next? Well, I used to work there, so I knew where the CEO's office was. So I got my weapon ready. Oh, I'm sorry, I knocked, but there was no answer. I used the key card to unlock the door.
Where'd you get that? That's probably when he dropped his wallet.
When I went into the security office, CEO's office, someone was in there.
Someone?
Suddenly, they bashed me over the head. Bam! Was it Kane Bullard? Bullard that hit you? I don't know. The person ran away while I was still stunned. When I came to my senses, the sight I saw left me speechless. The dead body of the CEO was right there in front of me. I thought I'd die. Anyway, I thought I should do something with the body.
So that's why you put it in the safe?
Yes, that's right. I used to be the chief of one of the security teams, so I knew how to open it. Okay, then what did you do after that? Well, I got out of there for starters. I was the one who set up the security cameras in that building, so I knew how to avoid being spotted by them. Neek.
That was like me at my old job. I didn't set them up, but I knew where they all were, and I was like, oh, I can just avoid all of them by going down this one specific path to get to my desk.
All of a sudden, Mr. Delight kind of sounds like the murderer to me.
Please don't say that.
Mr. Delight, is it true that 1 year ago you were forced to quit KB Security? How did you? I'm begging you. Please don't tell Tessie, please. Don't worry, we haven't told anyone yet. Ooh, thank goodness. No, but I'm supposed to have. But I suppose I'll have to tell her sometime. She'll find out eventually. Why have you been hiding it from her, anyway? Tessie would despise me if she ever found out I was living a life of crime. A criminal thief. She'd never forgive me. My marriage would be over.
I mean, did you see the flash of who hit him? It showed it for just a fraction of a second. It might not have even picked up on stream, it was so quick.
Knowing that, why did you become a thief in the first place? Because Desi spends money like it's water. There's no job in the world that could bring in enough money. Except being a thief. At least that's what I thought anyway.
So he became Mask Star to Mask for Desiree, huh? Alright, dum-dum. What do I need to say? Talk to Ron, present newspaper clipping. Okay. Isn't this you?
Hey, this is an article about my debut heist. Boy, that was a tough one. Before I knew it, they were hot on my trail. But Mask Star to Mask, he must have gotten away, right?
You didn't see it? It was a flash for just a fraction of a second. Just like a little longer than a subliminal message of Luke at me. He was like, I was struck, and like for a second it just flashed Luke at me's sprite silhouette for. Yeah, it flashed his sprite silhouette.
It says the article that he. It says in the article that he disappeared. That's right. That's right. I got a sudden burst of inspiration. I hid my Mask to Mask costume in a nearby plastic bucket. And I quickly changed into my security guard uniform. Pretty clever, eh? Wow! Oh, wow, awesome! Hey, hold the phone! The guard in this photo, is this you, Mr. Delight? Hehe, that's right. Nice trick if I do say so myself.
Nice and easy to figure out. Even pearls could see through that in a heartbeat. About the first heist, guard in the photo is Ron Delight.
As you might expect, Detective Atme found the disguise. He truly deserves the title of Ace Detective.
So he found the disguise and is probably using it to pretend to be you? Detective Atme found the Master Mask disguise. That's interesting. Because I think Luke Atme is also pretending to be Master Mask.
Yes, and I heard that he brought it home with him.
So that's it. That's when Atme got his hands on this.
So that, I got the chance to remake my costume. It must have been really time-consuming, huh? Yes, it took quite a while to complete. Anyway, a few days after that, I received the first of the blackmail letters. Blackmail letters?
Why does he keep insisting? Yeah. Oops. You got it. You got them starting when? Tell me more now.
Hey, calm down. Don't get so worked up. This blackmail letter, is this the first one you got? No, of course not. But this is the first one that ever called me out to a specific location.
So did you start receiving blackmail letters after this incident? Yeah. So we just learned that, there he is right there. He ditched his Master Mask outfit in a bucket. And he put his guard outfit on. Then Luke Atme found his outfit and took it home with him. So Luke Atme is probably pretending to also be Master Mask to steal stuff.
Yes, just a few days after the Tear of Eminon heist. First letter. It said, I know you did it. So someone found out about your true identity? Just like that? It's not easy being a master thief, you know. I got proof that it was you, so give up, it went on to say. So in the end, I had to give up the treasure I went through all that trouble to steal.
Is that right? Hey, hang on a second. What do you mean you had to give it up?
Oh, don't worry. After I put the jewel in the safe deposit box, the letter specified, someone sent me $10,000.
I think I remember something important. No one said anything about me being worried. No one said anything about me being worried, you know?
After that, I started getting the plans in the mail. Plans?
So Ron is him and Luke is pretending to be him, and I think pulling the strings so that he does what Luke wants.
What are these plans you're talking about? They were instructions on how to steal a crown or a painting or some other rare treasures. They showed me security blind spots, escape routes, and even suggested training methods. So you mean that the one who planned the heists wasn't you? No, it wasn't. I only planned the very first one. After that, I received plans from some very kind person. Incredibly detailed plans. It sounds like Mr. Delight is thankful to the person who was blackmailing him.
So Ron Delight was Master Mask after all? But someone else is behind the thefts. Someone who planned them all out in detail.
All I had to do was deposit the treasures I stole into safe deposit boxes. And I just waited for the cash to come in the mail.
Did you try not to look so gleeful about it?
You went after the sacred urn because of one of those plans too, huh? Well, see, truth is, I never seen the urn. All I did was follow the instructions to steal what I was told to steal.
Mr. Delight, is everything you just told me the truth?
Yes, but please don't tell Desi, okay?
Ron, before we go, there's one more thing I want to ask you.
Yes, but please don't hurt me.
Mr. Kane Bullard, do you swear that it wasn't you who killed him?
Yes, of course. I could never. I'm not lying. All I did was hide his body in the safe.
I don't know why I feel like playing Disgaea right now. I really don't.
But then I was afraid they'd discover what I did. I turned myself in yesterday. Why? Well, the judge had ruled that I was guilty of robbery. Then I'd have an alibi, right? I guess so. You're really clever, Mr. Delight.
I guess I have no choice but to take Mr. Delight at his word.
Mystic Maya,
Hey, Pearly!
I'm back.
Hey, Pearls. So what have you been up to this whole time?
The sacred urn, Mr. Nick. I took it back to Kirin Village to have it examined.
And what did you find out?
Well, there's no need to worry. They said it's the real urn.
Whew. That's
That's the right game.
a relief. I was really worried, dude.
But there's one small problem.
Problem?
These cute little pink splotches, the Danganronpa blood, they said it's paint, and they were put on the urn recently.
Why are we talking about the pink splotches again? What's the big deal?
What's the big deal? We've got to find out how they got there. That's the big deal.
Remember somebody called it the speckled urn too?
Yes, Mr. Nick, we've got to find out how they got there.
So somebody saw it after it was broken and put back together. Just Adrian Andrews totally broke it, didn't she? Okay, we're gonna find out how they got there.
Please don't forget about me.
Pink splotches, but it's a genuine article. And now I can probably go back to what's her face and be like, you broke the urn, you big dumb. Talk to Ron. Newspaper clipping. Talk to Ron about blackmail. Talk to Ron about heist plans. Get Ron's testimony. Okay, cool. Good to go.
Oh, Pearl, how nice to see you.
Hello there.
I haven't seen you around lately. What have you been up to?
Well, actually, I was having this urn examined.
Oh, I see.
Maybe if we take another good look at this urn, we can figure out the mystery of what actually happened here.
Nick, let's look around. One more time.
So yeah, they're telling me to examine. This box, there's something about it that's bothering me.
That's the box that the sacred urn was in.
It looks like there's some pink paint on it, too.
And it's definitely the same color as the stuff on the urn.
I think I know how the paint got on it now.
Alright, let's investigate again, Nick.
One box had the pink paint on it. There's the shit.
Detective Atme said he got hit on the back of the head with this by the thief. This was obviously a lie.
Because it turned out that Atme was the real thief. It's hard to believe.
It looks like Adrian feels really bad about this.
I'm going to take full responsibility and fix that sword myself. I don't know how... I know I don't look it, but I have complete confidence that I can fix it right up. Promise I'll fix it so you never knew it was bent in the first place.
Oh, please be gentle with it.
The Shijisto sword. Oops. Look, you can see the box is sitting right there. Some sort of paint got spilled. Like this paint down here. It got on the box, and then the box got broked, and then Master Math carried it out before then because he apparently did a heist at like 1 p.m. not a.m. Dun, 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 or whatever the music plays. It looks to me like it's been dried for several days.
But there's something suspicious about this paint mark. The bottom left part of it is oddly shaped and is shocking pink.
Mr. Nick, could it be that this odd shape is...
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that this is it.
Ah, that's the box the sacred urn was in.
If you look here, there's a little bit of paint on the box as well.
Wow, you're right. Look, it matches.
What is it, Mr. Dick? This is all turning out exactly as I thought it would. Just as planned. All right. Gitty. Oh, sorry. I think it's all starting to become clear. We're that much closer to solving the mystery of what happened to the urn. Let's go talk to a tree and ant. Cruise. Holy cow, this takes a long time. Are we going to get to the trial? Miss Andrews, do you know anything about the sacred urn?
Do I know anything? I'm in charge of the entire treasure exhibit.
The urn that was submitted before the court today. It's obviously not the same urn as before.
Well, that's true. Maybe it isn't the same. It could be a fake.
A fake?
You're the one who said wasn't the same. That's the most obvious explanation. Do you have any evidence that the urn that was submitted at the trial was genuine?
But yeah, Pearl's just... Sorry to break it to you, but the urn is a genuine article. Pearls went back to Kyrian Village and had it examined.
Is that right? That's nice, but I don't see how...
What she discovered was that the urn has been broken again.
Did you say again?
Yes, it was broken once a year ago. Now it looks like the same thing has happened. And quite recently, too.
Recently? Are you saying that this urn was broken recently?
Yes, that's exactly what I'm saying.
Why do you think it was broken recently? How do you know? How do you know? How do you know?
This poster, it was made recently, right?
Poster? Ah, the poster for the exhibit.
At the time when this photo was taken, the urn said I am on it. But now, for some mysterious reason, it says Amy. When the urn was fixed, the letters were transposed. Does it being broken again mean anything important? It means Dummy McAndrews broke it, fixed it the right way this time because she's not a Pearl, and then didn't even realize it somehow, despite the fact that she... You see, the thing is, she was dependent on other people, but now she's dependent on not having a brain, apparently.
Ah! I am? What does that even mean? I don't know anything about that. That phrase could never mean anything. I wasn't even there when the photo for this poster was taken.
That was a mistake. Now tell the truth.
Oh, right.
Yeah, it does tie in because Mask to Mask carried the box out without any pink on it. So it means that it must have been broken after Mask to Mask carried it out. And then fixed, and then later was taken. Like, it doesn't make any sense. There's no pink on that. Oh wait, no. But there's no pink on the box. But that's not the same box. Because it would have pink on it. So you'd see paint on it. It means something.
Or, even if the urn was broken, I had nothing to do with it.
Huh?
Yes, that's it. It must have been one of those people at the photo shoot. They probably dropped it. I'm sure that's what happened.
Looks like she's not going to give up that last Cyclox so easy.
You have any proof that the urn was broken here at the Lordly Tailor?
Well, Miss Andrews,
What is this supposed to mean?
there's pink paint all over this urn.
Hmm.
There's pink paint all over the floor and the walls of this basement warehouse. In other words, this urn is broken here. You can't weasel out of this one, Miss Andrews.
But
Uh-oh, she's trying to make her escape.
But you can get pink paint anywhere.
Well, there's none in my office, that's for sure.
Well, there is in my room.
So you did it. Liar! Well, wait, maybe not.
Anyway, paint on the urn and the paint on the floor. There's no proof that there's the same paint.
Imagine people being this pedantic. Like, seriously, just give it up, lady. Come on, this is getting ridiculous. The proof linking the paint to the urn... The proof linking the paint on the urn to the paint on the floor is the box that has the pink paint on it. This box, the urn was stored in this, right?
Yes, that's right. So what are you saying? Are you saying that that's the same pink paint from Lordly Taylor that's on that box? Or maybe it was a different pink paint that was on the box from a different place that wasn't Lordly Taylor or something? Maybe another box of the exact same size had this happen to it. You don't know. You weren't there.
I think you already know where I'm going with this, don't you?
Yes, more or less.
Paint on the floor is an odd shape imprinted in it, doesn't it?
Yes.
It oddly does not look like the same thing from this photo, does it? That's like half a square, and that's just like the corner.
Yes.
If you put this box into the impression in the paint, you can see it fits perfectly. Which means that the box was dropped right over there. And that's when the urn was broken.
Your name does you justice, Mr. Wright.
No, Apollo Justice is the other guy's name. I'm Phoenix Wright. Sacred urn.
I'm so sorry. I was the one who broke the urn.
Wait, does this make me feel like some sort of evil school teacher? What about her?
I'm a terrible person. Not only did I break it, but I tried to hide what I did.
Well, that's not so hard to understand, is it, Pearly?
No, not at all. I know just how she feels. Although, you know, I didn't do it either. You can't prove it. Where's the paint linking to me, Mystic Maya?
It happened about 2 weeks ago, just after the poster photo was taken on the same day the urn arrived here. I thought I'd put it away down here for safekeeping. I was carrying it in the box when I tripped on a paint can and lost my balance, and wow, did I launch that paint can high in the air. The box I was carrying crashed to the ground. I heard a terrible noise and I thought my heart was going to stop. Hearing the worst, I opened the lid of the box and that's when it happened. The broken pieces of the urn fell out of the box and landed right in the paint. Great place for me to open the box, am I right? I was in shock. I let out a huge scream.
I can totally see how that could have happened.
Yeah, as clumsy as she is, I'm sure Maya understands. Oh, it's all sad now?
Well, I knew it was the most important treasure in all the Curain village. So I tried as hard as I could to fix it. Fortunately, the shards were pretty big.
That's when the I am got changed to Amy.
I didn't know how it was originally written. But any sane person fixing it would have assumed it said Amy.
Any sane person? Really?
Oh, Pearls. She said she wasn't very good at spelling.
Anyway, I put the urn into the storeroom and no one had seen it since then.
Broken and repaired by Adrian Andrews 2 weeks ago, then replaced in its box, kept out of sight.
But there's something I don't get. When we first came here, I didn't see any paint stains.
Well, that's because it was so ugly and embarrassing. I used the golden statue to cover it.
The Amy face statue. Aha! Yeah, I remember it was covering it. First time we came down here, it was on the night that the sacred urn was stolen.
But Mr. Nick, there was no paint marks on the walls or floor of the warehouse when we got here.
Well, there's a good reason for that. On the day of the crime around noon, that golden statue just happened to arrive from the mountain training hall.
And
I realized that the statue would be the perfect size for covering up the paint stains. That's why I put it where you first saw it.
I see. Now it makes perfect sense.
But there's still one thing I find strange.
What is it, Pearls?
The day after the urn was stolen, we came here again. At that time, the statue had been moved and the paint was clearly visible.
She's right about that. Well, Miss Andrews?
Huh? What? I don't know anything about that. I placed it there to cover the paint, so why would I move it again?
Well then, who was it? And why would they have done it and why? And why though? But also why?
On the day before the theft, the statue was definitely closer to the door. And then the next day, it was moved. But why? A face statue updated in a court record. It looks like there's some connection between the sacred urn and the murder case.
Why? Why do you think so, Nick?
Because that night, the real thief, Run Delight, was at KB Security. But then why did another master mask show up here? A lot of different things are pointing to this one undeniable fact.
One undeniable fact.
The murder trial is starting tomorrow, but looks like that thief is going to be making another appearance. I want more of my celebration cake. I don't want to eat it in this because... Can I get a connection? I have no idea anything other than that part of this. Hey, we did it! Can I get a connection? I don't know how that goes. Other than, can I get a connection? Like, that's it. That's all I got. October 14th, 9:41 a.m. District Court Lobby, Defendant Lobby, number 4.
Hey, Nick,
What is it this time?
you won't believe how many people are here for the trial.
Well, it is a murder case.
What are you talking about? They're here for the trial next door.
Next door?
But don't you know this, Nick? They're having Detective Atmy's trial today.
Detective Atme?
They say they're going to try him as Mask the Mask.
Already? That was fast.
Boy, I'd love to see Master Mask's trial.
I know? Who the heck is that, Ron? By the way, where's Pearls?
Oh, she went back home. She said she can't neglect her training anymore.
I have no idea who it's from. Oh, it's Ron. I know. He's like, I know you don't like me. Pearls has really gotten into her training lately, huh?
Yeah, ever since that incident last year.
Please, don't ignore me.
Oh, Mr. Delight, good morning.
No one likes me. No one would notice me, even if I killed someone. Well, we're trying to make that true.
Come on, don't be silly. Oh, wait a sec.
You don't mean you're the murderer?
No,
I'm just a poor thief. No, wait, that's not right. A thief can't really be poor. That's what? Thieves can be poor? What are you talking about? Now let's see. According to Mr. Delight, from his second crime on, he was following a bunch of set plans. Plans that someone had been sending to help him commit the heists.
Do you really think there's a connection between the thief and the murderer, Nick?
It's possible. But today's trial is a race against the clock.
Huh? How come? Let's just take our time like always.
I'm afraid that's not an option. Because they want to get their trial through before the other guy gets tried as mask to mask.
Wanna go eat food for a sec?
Court is now in session for the trial of Mr. Ron Delight.
The defense is ready, Your Honor. Alright, I'll be right back. I'll be very, very careful when I eat it. I still have this little tag thing here. I just never cut it off because this is my first time wearing the coat. Alright. Why would you pull something? What? What are you talking about? Alright, hold on. Apparently my parents didn't see when I was wearing this earlier, so... Stuff from a French bakery that I got in celebration of my associate's degree today that I didn't know was coming. I hate this stuff. It's... oh my gosh, I hate... Hold on! Jeez. There's like the little blueberry in it. Good. Right? Oh look, I'll show you right now, Dad.
I see.
And also, right there. It's right there.
There he is.
Yep.
That's you.
That's in. Got more stuff. Oh, I didn't. I came from. Yeah, I just know how to tie them. Okay. And I've tried some. It's okay. I like it. Oh boy. Good old Scoop. The cat. Okay. Sorry for that. It's a blueberry what's it? Exactly, it's a blueberry what's it? I don't know, some sort of French bakery thing. Parents liked it. Well, my mom kept saying, "Where's the shoes? Where are the shoes? Does it fit right? Is your pants good?" And I'm like, "Mom, it's fine. I just had it fitted." But she like didn't believe him or trust him. I don't know. Anyway, the fence is ready, Your Honor.
You're ready. Preparation is the last refuge of the weak. Preparation is the last refuge of the weak. Okay, settle down, everyone. Let's begin with your opening statement, Mr. Godot.
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's not very blueberry-y, but it's pretty good. It's got the judge in the palm of his hand yet again.
Rondelite is simply too young to be sent to war, that is all. I'm afraid I have no idea what that means, Mr. Godot. Ha! Then you need to get out more, Your Honor. Life is war, but that is exactly why you must be more precise in your wording. That's all my statement means. You understand now, right? Yes. Well then, let me briefly summarize the details of this case.
Wow, the judge is taking charge like he knows what's going on for a change.
The victim is Kane Bullard, CEO of KB Security. His body was found in a safe at approximately 9 a.m. on the morning of the 13th. However, the time of death was estimated as 1 a.m. the previous day. And that's when our little kitten dropped the ball. That's what that little kitten is, of course, the defendant. Very well then, Mr. Godot. You may call your first witness. I never drink more than 17 cups of coffee during any given trial. The first one is always the best. Mr. Godot, your witness. Okay then. Let's hear what the defendant, Mr. Rondelite, has to say for himself. The defendant. Well, Mr. Wright, does the defense have any objections? It may be a bit of a disadvantage having the defendant testify, but...
I remember when Mia was defending me. She allowed me to testify so she could do the cross-examination. She put a lot of trust in me back then. Oh yeah, he's doing a callback to the first case. Already. We have no objections, Your Honor. The defense will allow Mr. Delight to testify.
Ha! You've got the guts right. Alright then, Mr. Rondelite, please take the stand. You did it, didn't you?
Yes. What? No. That's not true.
For a moment there, I thought we'd set the record for the shortest trial ever.
Well, Mr. Delight already looks plenty guilty with that face he's making.
And once he opens his big mouth, he'll probably put the last nail in his own coffin.
Ha, very well. Now then, can you tell me something? If you didn't kill Bullard, then why did you go to KB Security?
Well,
Oh yeah, the sound or whatever.
it's kind of hard to say. Boy, I wish I could go home.
Now then, let's hear some testimony about what happened.
My visit to KB Security.
That evening, around 1 a.m., I went to see Mr. Bullard in his office at KB Security. Blackmail letter I got. It ordered me to go there. I'd been working for KB Security until a year ago, so I knew where his office was.
1 a.m., the exact time the murder took place. We get washed away by the tides of fate. Strong, drink it up.
That, yeah.
Bitter today too. It's like my destiny.
You never know from the way he's chugging it down.
Mr. Wright, your cross-examination, if you please.
My visit to KB Security. That evening around 1 a.m., I went to see Mr. Bullard in his office at KB Security. 1 a.m., huh? You're absolutely sure about that?
Yes, that's what my watch said when I was entering the CEO's office. No, actually, I'm not really sure. My watch was slow, and my internal clock was also a bit...
1 a.m., that's the exact time the victim, Mr. Bullard, was murdered, correct? It's too late for a coffee date, that's for sure.
Blackmail letter I got. It ordered me to go there. It ordered you to go there?
It was the first time I'd gotten a blackmail letter that ordered me to go somewhere.
Does that mean you've gotten other blackmail letters then?
Oh, of course. They'd say things like, steal this or take that.
Hold it! Haha, why don't you save those for later, Mr. Delight? Please don't say anymore. Now what should I do? Guess you can press harder? So what did the blackmail letter in question say?
It said to bring $50,000.
Money, eh? A perfect motive for committing murder.
Oh, but wait! I never intended to pay that money anyway.
Oh, is that right?
After all, he had nothing to hold over my head. I had nothing to be afraid of.
An important point indeed. Witness, let's have that added to your testimony.
Yes, sir.
A muddy mud skipper in outer space has a better chance of surviving than I do. What? You smoking, Fenix? Also, since Pearl's not here, we can't have Fenix. Blackmail threat didn't scare me. It wasn't going to cause me trouble or anything. Just what were you being blackmailed about anyway?
The blackmail letter said, if you don't want your identity revealed, correct?
I'm sure it was referencing to the whole mask-to-mask thing. But I wasn't worried. Mr. Bullard didn't have anything on me.
He didn't.
Anyway, I don't care what anyone says about me. Just as long as Desi believes in me.
So that's why Mr. Light didn't believe that he was mask to mask.
That's why I knew they were just hollow threats.
I've been working for KB Security until a year ago, so I knew where his office was. You used to be a security chief for KB Security, right?
Yes, that's right.
A security chief, you! And yet, a year ago, you were fired without notice. Revenge for an old grudge? Perhaps motive for murder, wouldn't you say?
This isn't good. Maybe I should change the subject, or... Why were you fired? Mr. Delight, please tell us why you were fired from your job.
Well...
The world is filled with those who have said, I wish I had never asked that.
Okay, then I take it back.
Defendant, please answer the question.
I needed money.
You needed money.
Well, you see, Desi loves to spend it. It's kind of her hobby. Not exactly the best hobby in the world, huh, Nick? My salary wasn't nearly enough, so I stole data from the company. Come again? Maybe security has a lot of security info on all sorts of companies. And since I was a security team chief,
You stole some data and sold it.
Mr. Bullard found out and I was fired immediately.
What? I wish I had never asked that.
I was somehow able to keep it secret. I made it seem like I had quit on my own.
What is it, Nick? You don't look so good.
Someone who brings harm to their company is fired as punishment. You do well to remember that.
He sure told you.
What? So, you admit you stole data from your company, is that correct?
Yes. Sorry.
This is a very important fact. Please add it to your testimony.
Oh man, this whole thing just took a big turn for the worse, crashed and blew up. It's gonna take the jaws of life to rip this case from the clutches of disaster. Okay, so... Fired me for... There's a lot of testimony here. It says... To... Press Ron's added third statement. Okay. Which is... This? Fired me for selling company secrets? I honestly don't know. It's hard to tell. Why would you do something like that?
Well, for Desi's hobby, what else?
Wasting money, huh?
It's not a waste.
So
Miss Delight doesn't know that her husband was fired, does she?
so it'd seem.
Not sure what to think about couples who keep secrets like that from each other.
I can't believe it. This case has gotten even Maya to think seriously about couples.
Please try to stay focused, Mr. Wright.
There wasn't much to his testimony, was there?
Sounds like he's avoiding something. At least that's what it sounds like to me.
Oh, I've got a bad feeling about this. You better be careful.
But if we don't find a way to make him spill the beans, we'll never get closer to the truth.
Yeah.
Okay. You're going to cause me trouble or anything. I think I pressed that. Working about KB's attorney to a year ago. Press Ron's added third statement. 1, 2, 3. Just what were you being blackmailed about anyways? The blackmail letter said if you don't want your identity revealed, blah blah blah.
I'm afraid that reason isn't going to hold up anymore.
What do you mean?
Victim had no proof the defendant was Mask the Mask.
Oh yeah, he was like, he had nothing on me. And he goes, nope, that's not gonna work. The victim had no proof that the defendant was Mask to Mask. But
You were the one who stole company secrets only 1 year earlier.
this is one of those ones where you have to press stuff out of order to get them to go to the next stuff.
But that was all over with when I was fired. It's true that the fact that I stole secrets is kept under wraps. Even so, there was no reason for me to pay up now, a whole year later.
Is that really true?
What is it, Nick?
The fact that Ron was stealing company data, I wonder if he would have had a problem had that knowledge ever become public? Yes, he would have. Mr. Delight, I believe you would have been in considerable trouble if your identity as a company data thief was made public.
Mr. Wright, what are you trying to do by bullying your own client? Men are like colonies of bacteria. The more heat you apply, the faster they grow.
That's exactly right.
Well then, feel free to keep up the heat, my little lawyer amigo.
Little lawyer, amigo.
Yes, now come on. Provide some evidence to back up your assertion. Why would Mr. Delight want to keep his data stealing secret from going public?
Oh, okay. Okay, so this is one of those weird ones where you had to press stuff out of order. Oh, you did send me a text. We're 17. Oh, wow, so 6 minutes ago? Okay, so this is one of those weird ones you had to press stuff out of order, but while we were pressing Ron, he said that he was fired for stealing company secrets. But he had earlier said Kane Bullard had nothing on me, so I wasn't like afraid of going there because it's not like he knew I was mask to mask. It's not like he could damage me. Going back and pressing that again, Godot says, hey, you can't say that because you stole data, and he knew you stole data. And Ron's like, but when I got fired, that whole thing was kept under wraps, and so that's not an issue. And now, as Phoenix, we're saying, actually, it is an issue because if that info ever got leaked, Desi would find out. And she hates criminals, remember? Mr. Delight, what you said now doesn't match what you told me yesterday.
Huh? What doesn't?
I think you must have been scared, very scared, of having a certain person find out your secret. A certain person? Miss Desiree Delight, the defendant's wife.
What? But I... Listen to me. My Desi, she's...
Looks like if I just sit back and relax, the fun will end before it truly begins.
You're Godot!
Yes, we know. It was all your wife's fault.
What do you mean?
Mr. Delight stole company data to pay for his wife's spending habit, for which he was fired. Unable to face his own wife, someone used his dirty little secret to blackmail him. And that is how the murder came about.
Oh, No, everything's falling neatly into place for him.
Don't talk about my Desi like that, or you'll be sorry.
That was very threatening. Please don't do that. Well, it seems that we've learned a great deal of things here so far.
What do you think, Nick?
I didn't think it was possible to get so thoroughly whipped in just 20 minutes.
Clearly there was sufficient motive for murder. He stole data for his wife, and he killed to protect his secret. A family man who cared just a little too much. Bless your heart, Arandalite. Bless your heart.
I like how I'm shaking my head, and so is Godot.
The motive was clear. Let's move on.
Ah.
What happened at the crime scene at 1 in the morning, Mr. Delight? Come now, tell us. We are all ears.
The CEO's office.
When I entered the office, there was a suspicious shadow there.
Shaped like Larry Butts. No, I'm just kidding. Shaped like that guy. There it was, it flashed it.
Suddenly I was hit on the forehead. After that, I remember being a bit dazed. If I hadn't been wearing that, I would have been killed. When I came to, Mr. Bullard was lying there dead.
Yeah, the tongue does look silly.
I see. Suddenly hit on the forehead, huh? I believe the detective from yesterday provided similar testimony. He said that Mask Star de Mask struck him on the head from behind, while he was backed up against a wall somehow.
Of course, since Atme turned out to be the culprit himself, that was all a lie.
Ha! No one's going to believe the pathetic lie like that.
What are you saying? I really was attacked.
We'll find out if you say... Let's find out if what you say is true or not during the cross-examination. Got that, Mr. Trait? Don't go easy just because he's your client.
I'd rather go as Godot because it's really hot at conventions. And Godot is wearing just a long sleeve shirt and like a vest thing. Rather than like a long sleeve shirt and a suit.
If I see any sign that you are, I treat you to another cup of my special blend.
You don't need to worry about that, Mr. Godot. I have faith in Ron. I know he didn't do it. When I entered the office, there's a suspicious set. I saw immediately what we needed to press, where he was like, if I wasn't wearing that, obviously we need to press it. But we'll press in order like we always do. Who is this suspicious shadow? Unless we want to skip somebody because we're sick of them.
There was 1,000 of me. If there's 1,000 of me and even one new, I'd tell you, trust me. He's dodging all of our questions. He's not helping us win this case.
Okay, then how was the victim Mr. Bullard at that time?
What do you mean by how was he?
Was he already dead? Was he alive? Maybe he was the one who hit you in the first place.
That's a good question. What do you think, Mr. Wright?
Forget it. Suddenly I was hit on the forehead. After that I remember being a bit dazed. Your forehead?
Yes, I was hit on the forehead as soon as I entered the room. It was an amazingly fast and powerful attack.
Do you remember anything about who hit you?
Well, like I said, it was a fast and powerful hit. I think it was a little dazed for a while.
Don't think Mr. Delight even grasped what you were asking.
But if I went as Mia, I'd be screwed because she's scantily clad. Well, you can just dress as Mia around the house. I'm just kidding. Sorry, family-friendly stream. Family-friendly stream. Anyways, back to this murder case.
I don't think Mr. Delight even grasped what you were asking.
Yeah, I'd like to show him how fast and powerful attack myself. Maybe that would knock some sense back into him. If I hadn't been wearing that, I would have been killed. That? Could you please clarify what you're referring to?
Why, my mask to mask costume, of course.
Wait just a moment. Mask star to mask.
Oh, did I forget to mention it before? Just to be on the safe side, I dressed as mask to mask. And then I descended upon the office of the CEO at KB Security.
What?
Nick, did you know about this? He never told me this.
I don't recall him ever mentioning it to me either.
Even I didn't know that. It seems our little friend really loves to keep secrets.
I'm sorry, I just never had the chance to mention it up until now. Wait, that's not right. You know how sometimes things just slip your mind?
Ah, my 6th cup of coffee is staring up at me coldly. At any rate, we can't ignore this new piece of information. Witness, please correct your testimony.
I'd have been killed if I hadn't been wearing my mask star to mask costume. Why were you dressed up in his mask to mask?
Why, because I'm mask to mask, of course.
What are you talking about? Mask Mask's trial is being held next door.
Yes, I guess so. Anyway, at that time, I thought I was being blackmailed over the mask to mask issue. So I thought I should go as him just to be safe.
Oh boy. I know, right? We're about a third of the way through. Let me actually, yeah, we are.
Let me tell you, it's a real pain to move around with that cape.
Hold on. Let me just double check that we're about exactly a third of. No, actually, sorry. We're probably closer to like a fifth. I don't know. Because I think he drinks 17 and then he's like, we're in overtime now or something like that. But anyways.
Let me tell you, it's a real pain to move around with that cape. That's why it took a lot longer than I'd expected.
Took a lot longer? What's he talking about? What are you talking about? What do you mean by took a lot longer?
Oh, opening the safe, of course. My cape got caught on the safe door, you see. This all happened when I was hiding Mr. Bullard's body.
What was that? Back up a second.
Yes?
You were the one that hid the body in the safe.
Well, yeah.
Inconceivable.
That's like another Princess Bride reference?
Why? Just why? What reason could you have? What were you thinking? Question. When does someone toss their dirty shorts in the washing machine? What? The answer is simple. When they take them off.
It's true? You don't go in the washing machine with your shorts on? Thanks, Godot, for your infinite wisdom.
As usual, I have no idea what you're saying.
Do you mean that Mr. Delight hid the body because he's the murderer?
Ah, so you're not as stupid as you look.
His metaphor this time was really obscure.
Mr. Wright, you don't mean that you knew about this whole safe business, do you?
Well, yes.
Why am I the only one not in the loop here? Witness, make sure you add this to your testimony.
Yes, sir. Uh-oh. Looks like a storm front's moving on over the fair weather judge. It's just like keeps getting worse. I actually hid the body in the safe. Took me about 10 minutes. So it says, on Ron's fifth statement, present the CEO office buzzer. Panicked and hid the body in the safe. It took me about 10 minutes. Why would I ever present that here? What? Why would I present that? I mean, I trust you, guide, but why? Your Honor, could you please take a look at this record? Wait, what? This record? Isn't that the camera data? Oh, no, this. I probably could have presented this as well, as opposed to the buzzer. Buzzer went off at 102? Means his body would have been in the safe around 112? What is happening right now?
And what might this be?
The record for the emergency buzzer that connects the CEO's office to security. The button in the office is pressed. A security team is supposed to come running, if the button is pressed. And according to this record, the buzzer was pushed once at 1:02 a.m.
What?
If Mr. Rondelite truly was the murderer, he would have ran as soon as that buzzer sounded. After all, a security guard would have been heading his way.
Objection!
Huh. Let's remember who we're dealing with here. You probably had no idea there were security personnel in the building.
What do you mean he worked there? Up until 1 year ago, my client was working as chief of security. There's no way he wouldn't have known about them.
Objection!
But, as it turns out, the guard never came.
That was nothing more than a coincidence. The fact that the guard was a pathetic loser, who had just gotten punched in the face by his ex's new boyfriend, and wasn't anywhere in the vicinity, was not something Mr. Delight could have known.
Gee, Nick, did you really have to tell everybody that?
Objection!
Ha! Again, remember who we're dealing with here. It's a sure bet that Mr. Delight didn't even notice the buzzer going off.
It's super loud, dude. This buzzer is extremely loud. There's no way he could have ignored something like that. If he had been conscious, that is.
Conscious? What do you mean by that? Ugh. Fine. Let's hear your theory.
Recall the defendant's testimony. The moment he entered the victim's office, someone attacked him. Mr. Delight said that he felt dazed. I'm willing to wager that he was knocked unconscious for at least a few minutes.
Unconscious. So he fainted.
That's why Mr. Delight didn't know that the buzzer had sounded. And that's why he thought he had time to hide the body.
So what are you trying to say?
Mr. Delight was knocked out, and the buzzer went off soon afterwards. Now, unless my client was able to hit the buzzer while he was unconscious, that can only mean that there was another person in the room. That's right, whoever it was who they knocked out Ron Delight, and then they pressed the buzzer. And then they ran over to Lordly Taylor or something, I don't know.
Order in the court. Mr. Wright, this is...
Objection!
This is preposterous. It was this kid. Ron Delight, he's the one who killed Kane Bullard.
Then who pressed the buzzer?
It was the victim, of course. He pressed the buzzer when the defendant attacked him. He didn't die right away. He must have held on long enough to push that button.
Ah!
So Kane Bullard sounded the buzzer himself. What's your opinion of that, Mr. Wright?
I need to prove that the real criminal was there at the scene. But how? Can I prove it wasn't Kane Bullard who sounded the buzzer? I can prove it. The defense's opinion is this, Your Honor. This piece of evidence proves that it wasn't the victim who sounded the buzzer. It's the buzzer, right? Because it has no fingerprints on it? Maybe he bumped it with his back. Maybe he hit it with his elbow. Maybe he sneezed on it hard. I believe this is a piece of incontrovertible evidence that you were looking for.
The emergency buzzer. Is there some kind of clue on it?
Absolutely not.
Hey, come on now. At least give us some thought as to what. At least give some thought as to what to say before opening your mouth.
The fact is that there are absolutely no clues is itself a clue.
Now I'm the one who's clueless.
This button has no fingerprints on it. If Mr. Bullard had really pressed it himself, naturally he would have left his fingerprints on it, or he just hit it with his palm. You know, like someone who's like, BAM! You know, they'll just kind of smack it with their palm.
Rondelite obviously wiped them off.
Why would he? A guard could have come in at any moment.
He touched that button, I know he did.
The defendant, Mr. Delight, was dressed as Master Mask. And Master Mask always wears gloves. What reason could he possibly have had to wipe the button free of fingerprints? Yeah, that's a good point. If Kane's fingerprints are on there, why would he need to wipe them? Like, it doesn't matter, and he wouldn't leave any himself, but why would he press the button?
Order, order, order! I forgot to order my food earlier. Ah, it would seem. I've been forced to eat crow.
I wonder what blend number crow flavored coffee is.
However, if the real killer was there at the scene, why would that person press the emergency buzzer? Shouldn't they have run away without putting themselves in extra danger? What's with this awkward silence all of a sudden? Ah, it looks like you're fresh out of parlor tricks.
But that was my point exactly.
Around to you, Nick.
Just give me a minute to collect my thoughts. The real culprit killed Mr. Bullard at around 1 a.m. And Mr. Delight just happened to waltz in when the murder was taking place, right? The killer clobbered Mr. Delight and then sounded the buzzer.
Even though the security was supposed to respond right away if the buzzer was pressed.
Security was supposed to respond?
Time's up, Mr. Wright. Let's hear what you have to say.
Very well then.
Oh, you've got some guts. I like that in an opponent.
Why did the real killer sound the emergency buzzer? To call the security guard? The killer knew that if they pressed that button, a guard would come running. And that was exactly what they wanted.
Do you mean that the killer called the guard on purpose?
Yes, although as it turned out, he never showed up.
Because he was getting his clock cleaned at the time.
Ah, what a touching story. I was saying the killer had a change of heart and called the guard to turn himself in?
No, I'm not. When that buzzer sounded, there were 3 people in that office. The victim, Kane Bullard, who was already dead. The defendant, Rhonda Light, who was out cold. And the third person, the real killer.
Hypothetically, yes.
Now then, in this situation, if the real killer made an escape, what would happen? The only ones left in the room would be the victim and Rhonda Light. And if any security guards come running in at the time, they would think that I was the murderer. Yes, that's precisely the real killer's objective. To
frame Rondelite for the murder.
Ugh. Order, order, order!
It would seem I've been made to eat my words once again.
Actually, you've been made... What? Actually, you've been made to do a speed take with a cup of coffee.
Mr. Wright, who was it? Who was it that tried to frame me? Wait. Wait a second. I'm the one and only Master Mask, so...
Nick, you mean the real killer is...
We're going to drag that person in here right now.
But who is it?
I don't have any solid proof yet, but think about it. The killer knew Mr. Delight's identity, and they also knew that he had been called to KB security that night. So the killer used him to execute a well-crafted plan to murder Kane Bullard.
Now then, let's hear your accusation, Mr. Wright. Who is it that framed Mr. Rondelite for the murder of Kane Bullard?
It's Desiree Delight. No, I'm just kidding. It's Detective Luke at me. He's the only person who could have done it.
Ace Detective.
Look at me.
You mean Master Mask did it?
Your Honor, the person being tried in court next to us is not Master Mask at all. He is, in actuality, the true murderer of Kane Bullard.
Order, order, Mr. Wright. Explain yourself.
Theft and murder. Which one is a more serious crime?
They're not even close. Murder is more serious, of course. It's a capital crime subject to a capital punishment.
Subject to capital punishment, sorry. Please remember the trial from yesterday if you would. When Luke at me confessed, there was a huge commotion in the courtroom.
Of course, a famous detective was unmasked as well, as Mask de Mask.
Instead of being convicted of murder, he was found guilty of grand larceny. That was his true objective all along.
To be found guilty.
Master Mask had the perfect alibi for when the murder took place. He was stealing the urn at Lordly Taylor. In other words, being found guilty as Master Mask was Luke at me's airtight, watertight, and unassailable alibi.
A guilty verdict. As an alibi.
No, it's almost time.
For what?
For Luke at me's verdict. It was a pretty simple trial after all. If we're going to stop this trial and stall that one, we need to do it now. Of course, that's assuming you have proof that the detective was the one who committed the murder.
Mr. Luke Atmy's trial has indeed attracted the attention of the entire country. If we were to intrude and fail to provide adequate proof of his true crime, Mr. Delight would be left with no grounds for appeal.
Am I really sure about this?
A bet's only good when your life is the ante.
Mr. Wright, I believe in you. Mr. Delight. So, please, I'm begging you. Thanks, but my decision will determine the rest of your life. Can I really risk your life like this? Phoenix. We got Phoenix anyway. What was that? Don't stray, Phoenix. You're a client. Take the path of trust. That voice, it sounded like Mia. I don't know why this music plays when I hear Mia, but okay. Your Honor, the defense requests an immediate recess.
Ha! Well, that's your answer, ha? Very well. I've decided as well. The court will now take a 20-minute recess. Mr. Wright, when we return, please summon Mr. Luke Atmy to the stand. Oh, I get it. It's like look at me. Ha! That's so.
Yes, Your Honor.
Hey.
He did it, and I beat him to it.
Well, sir, Detective Atmy.
Ha ha ha!
I have to say, Mr. Payne, you performed splendidly.
Oh no, Sir Detective Atney. You were the one who...
It's enough. This court sees no reason to further prolong this trial. This court finds the defendant Luke at me.
Wait! Don't hand down your verdict yet, please!
Well, Sir Loyal, welcome to my courtroom. Who is this hoser, eh?
My name's Phoenix Wright, attorney at law, and I wish to file an accusation against this man. Look at me!
Accusation? You accuse Mask to Mask?
That man is not Mask to Mask. He's just a ruthless murderer. What? I told you there was a Canadian guy. Told ya. There he is. Who is this hoser, eh? I love how he just looks like the other judge, but blonde with slightly different hair. October 14th, 12:14 p.m. District Court Defendant Lobby Number 4.
Macy's?
I could have sworn I heard Mia's voice.
So then, she's still alive inside your heart.
He has so many voices, it's unreal.
Icky boy,
Oh, Mr. Light.
is it true that that detective is the real killer?
To be honest, we don't have any definitive proof. But he's the only one who could have done it.
But wasn't he at the Lordly Tailor that night?
Not to mention, we don't exactly know his motive. I mean, why would Detective Atney want to kill Kane Bullard?
Oops, it's almost time. Better get back to the courtroom. I need to find some solid proof. And it's gotta happen sooner than later.
Please save my Ronnie.
Now then, this court is back in session. Mr. Luke Atney, please take the stand.
Well, how do you do, Sir Lawyer? I never would have thought to see you acting so recklessly.
I couldn't let them hand down your verdict just yet. Not when it would have given you your perfect alibi. An alibi by the name of Mask Star Damask.
I'm sorry, I'm afraid even the great Luke Atney has no idea what you mean. Of course, I have been in the next courtroom ever since 10 o'clock this morning. I'm afraid there is no way I could know what has been going on in here.
You have been in the defendant's seat all day long, correct? Being tried as Mask Star Damask.
Indeed, it is truly child's play to fool the ignorant masses. Not only did the poor fools ask me to protect their valuables, they even gave me a generous reward upon returning their property to them. Take this red diamond ring that sparkles upon my divine finger, for example.
So you continue to exist that you are in fact Mask Star Damask?
Of course.
Very well then, Luke Atney. Let us begin with this simple question. On October 12th, at 1 a.m., Kane Bullard was murdered. Where were you at that time?
One without knowledge lacks even the knowledge that he should be ashamed of himself. But don't worry, I will not hold that against you, Sir Judge.
Thanks. All right, Mr. Atney, the night of the murder, speak. We are all ears.
As you wish, Sir Prosecutor.
Payne makes a surprise appearance in the second case for once in his life. Okay.
I was sealing the urn as Mask Star Damask just as I announced I would. I had more than enough time to prepare. It was a pathetically easy job. A photograph contains no words, but in this case, one turned out to be my weakness. At the time at which the camera captured Mask Damask was the same time as the murder. Isn't that convenient?
Seems the main point of this discussion will be the photo of the crime scene.
Everything else up until now was part of his plan. There has to be a secret in this picture as well. Even the great Mask de Mask cannot be in two places at once. Unless I can, I don't know actually sure, I have not checked. Now then, if you excuse me, I have a verdict to receive. Unfortunately, Mr. Atme, we still have to do your cross-examination. A fool is too foolish to know that he is a fool. I heard that from some whip lady once. She is annoying.
I think he's trying to say you're full of it, Nick.
The only thing that's full of it is his alibi. The alibi. I was stealing the urna as Mask to Mask, just as I announced I would. So this photograph is the proof, correct? Indeed it is. And the man in the photo is certainly wearing a mask. That is why I am called Mask Style de Mask. But conveniently, that also means that there's no way to tell who it really is.
What do you mean?
Are you saying that this is not in fact look at me?
I said it as look at me.
Did not look at me. That it could be an accomplice dressed up as Mask Star the Mask to create an alibi.
What an interesting idea. Are you saying that I, Lone Wolf Luke, had an accomplice? No. If Look At Me was at the KB security during the murder, then the Mask to Mask in this picture has to be a fake.
Then there really was an accomplice.
But right now I have no idea who it was.
I don't have any idea now either.
These subjections are just what a guy wants, just what that guy wants. There's gotta be another way, and I'm going to find it. I had more than enough time to prepare. It was a pathetically easy job. I believe Adrian Andrews hired you at one point. That's right. It was over 20 days ago, if I'm not mistaken. You sent the calling card to Lordly Taylor 10 days before the heist. That would mean you sent the card after you began your security watch, right? Indeed. There is no reason why I could not do both jobs at once. It was the perfect opportunity to steal my latest target.
I see. You truly are evil, aren't you?
Yes, evil is what I am.
Hey Nick, isn't there something odd about this? Detective Atme was always proud of his ace detective skills, right? But if the urn was stolen from Lordly Taylor, or he was the only one watching it, he'd have no way to maintain his perfect ace detective persona.
You know, that's true. It is kind of odd. Photograph contains no words, but in this case one turned out to be my witness. So by photograph, you mean this piece of evidence here? Is that correct? Indeed it is, that is it. The very thing that proves I committed the crime. The very thing that proves you committed the crime. When you think about it, it's really odd. You say that almost as if you had this picture taken on purpose.
He was simply caught by the very camera that he had set up.
But why would he be? He would know that's there.
We all have days like that.
Indeed, it turned out that there is no such thing as the perfect crime after all. Life is truly an ironic thing. A sad blue melody. It looks like I'd better gather more information for now. If he's truly the killer, there's gotta be something phony in that photo. Weird. The time the camera captured Mask to Mask was the same time as the murder. About the camera that took this photograph. Oh, come on now. It's all too clear what you are thinking. Huh? You think I altered the timestamp on the photograph, don't you?
I'm afraid that's impossible.
The camera was set up by Lordly Taylor, and on top of that, it was Lordly Taylor's staff that printed that picture's data. Unfortunately for the defense, there is no way that picture could have been altered.
I see. It looks like I'd better find something else that could be suspicious.
So, this alibi is false?
It has to be, or he couldn't have killed Mr. Bullard at KB Security.
But I'm not really spotting anything unusual.
There are two possibilities. Either the masked mask in the photo is a fake, or the photo itself is. It says press the third statement. But I did. Didn't I? Aesthetically easy job. Photograph contains no words. Think long and hard about that night. The basement warehouse in this picture that supposedly captures it. It's gotta be here. Isn't there something funny about this picture? Oh, okay. I guess I just had to repress it? I don't know. Are you implying that this picture is a fake? You bet I am. There's definitely something strange about this picture. We took a look around the basement warehouse that night before the theft took place, and there's something in this photo that doesn't match my memory of that night. It's the Amy Faye statue that was supposed to be there, right?
Very well, let's hear what you have to say. What about this photograph do you find funny?
Look at his outfit, Your Honor. It's hilarious. The funny part is right here.
Why, this is a blood stain. Ah, blood. Now this case is getting interesting.
Not exactly. This stain is actually pink paint.
Oh, just paint. And peach colored at that.
From blood to peaches, this judge sure loves going on his wild tangents. The problem with this photograph is not the paint. The problem is when you consider the layout of the basement warehouse, it turns out that something that should be there is nowhere to be seen.
Well, Mr. Wright.
What's supposed to be in this picture
What's supposed to be in this picture instead of the paint stains?
Mystic Ami or Amy or whatever. The supervisor of the treasure exhibit stated the following.
Well, there's a good reason for that. On the day of the crime around noon, that golden statue just happened to arrive from the mountain training hall. I realized that the statue would be the perfect size for covering up the paint stains. That's why I put it where you first saw it.
I myself was there the night the theft took place. It was me all along! No, I'm just kidding. And saw the statue in that spot. If this picture was truly taken on that night, then that statue should have been there.
But when I was there, the day after the theft, the statue of the old bag was sitting in the corner.
Old bag has nothing to do with this case.
I don't even know who you are talking about. Perhaps it was somehow pushed there accidentally.
Your Honor, this statue is slightly larger than yourself, and quite heavy.
So, it's like me. I understand what you're saying, Mr. Wright. Fine, I'll stop ordering so much food then. Will that make you happy?
It would take more than an accident to move it that distance.
In that case, can you prove it? Can you give us the rhyme and the reason as to why that statue was moved that night?
Can you do it, Nick?
Never mind who moved it. The real question is why did they move it?
Well, Mr. Wright, I hope you're prepared with your answer. Now then, who was the one who moved the golden statue on the night of the crime?
It was Look at Me! The one who moved the statue is none other than Look at Me!
Come now, sir lawyer.
There you go again, on one of your strange tangents. Delusions.
Mr. Wright, on what basis do you have your strange delusions?
It's very simple. The witness was the one who was in the basement warehouse that night.
That is indeed very simple. However,
why would I want to move the heavy golden statue? The reason for moving the golden statue, here's where our battle really begins.
Well, Mr. Wright, what reason did the witness have to move that statue?
The reason can be found in the photograph. You would seriously pull off Phoenix's cosplay. All you need is the wig. This suit is a little darker than his suit, but it's actually not that much darker now that I look at it. Yeah, you could do my eyebrows like that, and then I could just get a wig, and then I'd be Phoenix. The reason's right here in this photograph. Look at me. You pretended to be mask to mask to create an alibi by showing you were at Lordly Taylor that night. But this photograph contains a single fatal flaw. If the statue had been there, your lie would have been exposed like a cheap film at a drugstore. Exposed like cheap film at a drugstore. That's why you had to move the statue.
A single fatal flaw.
Interesting theory. Please enlighten us.
Just where in this...
Just where in this picture does a single fatal flaw lie?
Naturally, the lie in this photo is the timestamp.
What do you mean?
I'll tell you exactly what I mean. On the night in question, Luke Atme went to KB Security and murdered Kane Bullard. Therefore, it's obvious. It would have been impossible for him to have been at Lordly Taylor at this time.
But what does that have to do with the statue being moved?
Remember, if you will, Your Honor, when was this statue placed beside the warehouse door?
Well,
The statue was taken down to the warehouse on the day of the crime, and it was placed there in order to cover up the paint.
Exactly. Luke Atme had already decided on the time when he was going to kill the victim, and so in order to create an alibi for that time, he took this picture days before the murder took place. I really don't want to take this across the country if I don't have to. I need it in good condition for the wedding. I mean, I want to, but like, for a wedding.
What the?
Of course, the statue hadn't yet been brought down to the basement warehouse. So on the day of the crime, Mr. Atme must have been quite nervous. As nervous as a long-tailed cat in a rocking chair factory, so to speak. Why? Because something that wasn't supposed to be there had been brought down and placed where it wasn't supposed to be. And that is why Luke Atme had to move the statue on the night of the murder. Hey, I wore it to try it on, okay? This isn't gonna be a regular thing. He did it to make the room match the way that it had been in this photo. Gah! I was very, very careful. I was like eating it like as carefully as I could, and then I washed my hands. I know. Okay, anyway.
Order! Order! Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Right Eye. I said I wasn't going to order food. Mr. Atme, is this true?
One moment, Your Honor. Have you forgotten this?
What's that?
The data for the basement warehouse computer. According to this, the camera did indeed go off the night of the crime.
It's true that the camera had been set up by the Lordly Taylor staff. However, the program used to manage the data was yours. That alone would have allowed you to tamper with the data.
Ah, ha!
Order! Order! I'm sorry, I can't help myself. Mr. Godot, what is the meaning of this? Godot, I warned you about making me wait. Now put that coffee down. Put that coffee down. Put that coffee down. Down,
or something like that.
My 11th cup. I promised to drink no more than 17 during a trial. Which means I'm still good till the last drop.
However, the defense has made a very good point.
A good point? So what? We are all but travelers on a road of infinite points.
I think he's got his points mixed up with other points.
So you say this photograph was taken ahead of time, and that statue was moved in order to make it match. It's a very interesting idea. However, there's one point that can't be denied.
Which is?
That it's only a possibility. Men that are trapped by the chains of maybe can never reach their dream.
That's very true. No way, don't fall for that, Your Honor.
Hey, Mr. Damask.
Yes?
If there's no funny business with your actions as Mask Damask, there should be no problem with you telling us your strategy. So let's hear it.
Yes, please provide this court with your testimony about your plan to steal the sacred urn. Okay, now we're like halfway through. I think. Okay, the sacred urn heist. Holy cow. This is gonna go nuts really soon, I think. I first received the request from Lordly Taylor about 20 days ago. The urn was placed in a box, and very, it was then sent to the warehouse. Hence, I was actually unable to see the urn for myself until the day of the crime. I knew it was extremely valuable treasure, so I sent my card 10 days beforehand. Oh, then I handled the security by myself to ensure that my crime would go smoothly. At last, I held the urn in my hand for the first time at 1 a.m. October 12th. It's pretty much all the same stuff we've heard before, isn't it? Yeah, but we will find the truth hidden in the nuggets of new information he gave. Witness, you are sure there are no mistakes this time? Zvari. Very well then. Mr. Wright, you may begin your cross-examination. I kind of feel like just saying screw it and presenting the right thing, because there's a lot to press through here. First received a request from Lordly Taylor about 20 days ago. The urn was placed in the box, hence I was actually unable to see the urn for myself until the trip. So let me know if you want to like move forward a bit, because I can press every statement and it won't do anything. Like, so a lot of the times pressing statements is kind of necessary, but this is literally just like you go to the thing and you present the thing. I kind of don't feel like talking to this guy. I kind of get like a little, not bored, but I'm just like, all right, bud, hurry it up. So it's the calling card. Mr. Atme, if you really are Mask to Mask, then you also wrote this calling card, correct? But of course. Calls it the speckled urn, remember? So he must have seen it with the paint on it.
There a problem with that calling card?
Allow me to read a passage from the calling card Mask to Mask had written. Take good care of the speckled urn. Now the speckled here surely refers to the pink pattern on the sacred urn.
Yes, that is true. But so what?
The truth be told, there's no way that Mask to Mask could have known about this pattern. What do you mean? This pink spotted pattern on the urn is actually nothing more than paint stains.
Paint stain.
And these stains did not appear until after the urn had been taken to Lordly Taylor.
Not finding this joke to be very funny, Mr. Wright.
The day the sacred urn was taken to the warehouse, the urn was broken due to some human error, or should I say human error-prone human. And that's when the pink paint got on the urn.
You can't be serious.
And yet this calling card clearly mentions the paint pattern. Which means Detective Atme had seen this urn long before the crime ever took place. In fact, he saw it when this fake photo was taken. Because this photo is a fake, your alibi for the night of the murder no longer holds water.
Witness, do you have anything to say for yourself?
Gary? Mm-hmm. Alright, that did it. He's broken.
Nick, I think it's still a little early for a victory pose.
Huh?
It's so sad. No one has any conviction these days. Conviction, you say? Yesterday, we all decided unanimously that this man was Mask the Mask. And now we're calling him a murderer. Why not both, says the meme, but I say, you don't think we're being a tad fickle?
That's a good point. No way, don't fall for that too, Your Honor.
You say that Look at Me was the one who killed Kane Bullard. Then let me ask you this. Why would he do that?
Ha 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 ha. An excellent point. Motive, Mr. Right? Motive? Might you, my merry murderous motive manifest? Might you, my merry murderous motive manifest?
Nick, he's getting his second wind.
If he prepared an alibi and pinned the crime on Ronda Light, as you say, he must have had a very strong motive for murder.
The only one with any motive we've seen is Rhonda Light. Isn't that right, detective?
Indeed, according to my own research, the boy's motive is clear. Without a motive, it's nearly impossible to prove guilt in a murder case. Now then, maybe you can enlighten us as to what the defendant's motives were. I'd be honored to, Sarah Oldtimer. They're doing everything they can to make Ron look suspicious. Despite our lack of hard information, this may be our only chance. Can we switch screens? What do you mean? You be the bigger one and Ace Attorney be in the corner? Oh, no, we can't. Anyway. Look at Me had no point of contact with the victim whatsoever. Ken Bullard decided to investigate Mask the Mask and simply mistook who he was. It was Kane Bullard who wrote the blackmail letter and sent it to Ronda Light. And it was again Mr. Bullard who harbored a grudge against Mr. Delight for his betrayal. Mr. Bullard's mistake is quite excusable. The defendant truly believes he has Mask Star the Mask. That is why Mr. Delight saw it fit to kill Kane Bullard. Truly a tragedy. So the victim, Kane Bullard, blackmailed the defendant. I kind of feel like taking a nap, but I want to finish this case at least. We're pretty close to the end now.
This is the blackmail letter found in the defendant's apartment. The handwriting test confirms that Mr. Bullard was indeed the one who wrote the letter. Who wrote the letter.
What?
Blackmail letter updated. Written by Bullard.
Very well, Mr. Wright. Begin your cross-examination.
I'm very fun. I've been playing games for hours. Motive for murder. I look at me. At no point of contact with the victim whatsoever. We're pretty close. I say we're pretty close to the end, but the end always takes a long time to wrap up. But we gotta get on to case 3, where we talk to Victor, everyone's favorite Ace Attorney character that never shuts up. Don't call me that, that's not my name. I look at me at no point of contact whatsoever. I think there's only... I didn't mean to do that, but it was the right thing to do. Whoops. What I was trying to do was take a look at this. You don't want your true identity revealed to the world. Come to KB Security at 1 a.m. on October 12th and bring $50,000. If you don't, I'll take that red diamond you received the other day instead. Mind if I ask you a few questions, Detective Atme? I still don't know how that contradicts him being like, oh, Kane wrote it. Well, if it's just a few, I guess it's all right. Oh, right. He's under the impression that the red jewel on his finger right there. He's under the impression that Ron is that guy? When you said that this letter is addressed to Ron Delight, oh, it's addressed to him and he gave it to Ron? Has he been giving him the blackmail letters that he's been receiving to Ron the whole time? That's why Ron was like, well, I was gonna contemplate doing that. Anyway. So Ron's like, he doesn't have anything on me. That's why Ron said that, because he doesn't. That's why he was confused that it was Kane. I couldn't help but notice one major contradiction. Contradiction? I don't know where a walking contradiction like you gets off saying things like that. You're one to talk. At times like these, men are made to express themselves with their fists. Why don't you show us what you've got there, Junior?
Indeed, time to man up, Mr. Wright. Show us the contradicting evidence in the content of the blackmail letter. Oh.
Take a good look at this newspaper clipping. It contains a picture of the Tear of Emanon, the stolen jewel.
What about it?
The problem is that this jewel's color.
Color? I'm not much for discussing color myself.
According to the clipping, the color of the stolen jewel was blue. However, in this blackmail letter, a totally different jewel was mentioned. I'll take that red diamond you received the other day.
Red.
Which means the red diamond described in the blackmail letter is not the Tear of Emanon that Master Mask stole after all. At all.
And your point?
Oh, sorry.
Your point is, Mr. Trite. So you are trying to say that this blackmail letter was intended for someone else? Is that what you're trying to say, right, Trite?
That is what you're trying to say, right, Mr. Wright?
Well, is that what you're trying to say, right, Nick?
Yes. This is... They all say the same thing, and then he's like, yes. And they all call him different stuff. This is who Clayne Bullard was actually talking to. Look at me! Naturally, it was you, Detective Atme. Do you have some sort of basis for that claim? You have been personally involved in every single Master Mask case, and in this last case, you recovered what was stolen and received a jewel as your reward.
A jewel?
Probably the one wrapped conspicuously around your finger. That red diamond ring! That is the diamond referred to in the letter. Which means that Kane Bullard wrote the letter in order to blackmail you!
Huh! Order in the court. Order, I say. It seems you've gone too far with your childish pranks, Mr. Trite.
Uh-oh, I don't like the way he said that.
Kane Bullard blackmailing, look at me. Are you for real?
Yes, I am.
Nick, come on, stand up to him.
Then answer me this. The blackmail letter contains the following passage, if you don't want your identity revealed to the world.
Yes, it certainly does.
Kane Bullard threatened to make a look at me's identity public knowledge. An identity he wanted to keep secret. So just what was that identity?
Atme killed Kane Bullard because he was afraid his secret becoming known. What was the identity he wanted to keep secret?
This is what it all comes down to, Nick.
The identity that Look At Me wanted to keep, desperately to keep secret, was his identity as... Identity Look At Me wanted so desperately to keep secret was his identity as... a blackmailer. Look At Me was a blackmailer!
Hey now, isn't that a little different from what you've been saying? You said that Ken Bullard was the one blackmailing Look At Me. Are you saying that Look At Me was blackmailing someone else on top of that?
You have to admit that does sound a little odd.
It's not odd, it's the only thing that makes any sense. Kane Bullard was blackmailing Look At Me. But Rhonda Light was also being blackmailed by a certain someone. So did you start receiving blackmail letters after this incident?
Yes, just a few days after the Tear of Eminon heist. After that, I started getting the plans in the mail. I received plans from some very kind person. Incredibly detailed plans.
Detailed plans. In which case, that would mean Rhonda Light was actually Master Mask.
That's what we are claiming. Someone else came up with the plans and had Mr. Delight steal his targets for him. And that someone was none other than Look At Me.
Shh, silence! Ha ha ha! Now I see. It's all becoming clear.
What is?
When you were in grade school, you received the same report card every year. Careless with the tendency to jump to conclusions. Am I wrong?
How did you?
You say that I, Look At Me, was blackmailing Rhonda Light? In which case I would naturally all know about his relation to Masked Star de Mask.
Well, yes.
Rhonda Light started receiving plans from his second crime onward, correct? Which means I learned of his identity when he committed that first crime. Good point. You certainly couldn't have blackmailed him otherwise. In that case, let's see some hot, bitter evidence. During the first crime, how did Look At Me know that Rhonda Light was Masked the Mask Star? Got the star, sorry.
It's the newspaper clipping where you can see them both together. Even I know that. I think I see it.
See what?
When you were in grade school, you received the same report card every year. Gets into lots of mischief trying to be the center of attention.
Oh, what do you mean?
This newspaper clipping. It has a picture of you and Rhonda Light in his guard uniform. It seems that Master Mask didn't just disappear into thin air. He just took off his outfit and hid it in a bucket.
That sounds far too stupid to be true.
Correct. With tricks like that, he couldn't fool a baby, let alone an ace detective. And that's when you figured it out, Mr. Atme. That's when you learned that under the mask, Master Mask was really Rhonda Light.
Huh? What the? Wasn't he supposed to be Master Star to Mask?
Not only that, it looks like he wasn't even an ace detective.
I can't believe it. He was just a slimy blackmailer.
What a fraud! This man's a phony! A phony! Hey everyone, this guy's a phony!
Why, you? How dare you expose me like that?
Why, I mean, I've never been blackmailed by anyone in my life.
I'm a famous and proud ace detective, and also Masked Star the Mask.
How can't you understand that? I'm afraid you are neither a proud thief nor an ace detective. You're a blackmailer and a murderer. That is your true identity.
Why, you? How dare you even imply? You're such cadaverous lolly. Why are you doing yourself to the big mouth of words, you fool? I say none of you can compare to my genius. You're all jealous. Sogun, says commentaire. Detective cannot handle blackmail, murder, threats. He's enough to make one laugh.
He old bagged on us pretty hard there. I couldn't control what he was saying.
It would seem we finally arrived at the real answer.
That was quite a performance by Mr. Oldbag Atme.
Bailiff, please prepare a cell for Mr. Atme.
Objection!
The hammer that strikes too fast has no time to aim.
What do you mean? I'm already prepared to deliver my ruling.
Allow me to say one more thing. I will be the one to judge.
You don't get much more in your face than that.
It appears that your claws weren't quite sharp enough, Mr. Trite.
I'm assuming you said caught. I caught the old bake stuff too hot. Something about Godot bugs me. What is it? Is it the drink thing? What do you?
It is true that you have proven a lot of things. Things like Look at Me was a filthy blackmailer, and that he wasn't that lordly tailor the night of the murder.
That's right. That's why he's the one who killed Mr. Bull.
But there's still one thing you have yet to prove.
What's that?
Just because he wasn't at the warehouse doesn't mean he was at the murder scene. Therefore, you can't prove that this pitiful excuse for a man was at KB Security. Then I don't see how a verdict can be delivered.
No way!
Order in the court. Well, Mr. Wright.
This is it. The final round. I've got to prove that Atme was at Mr. Bullard's office on that night.
But can you really prove that?
That's long enough, Mr. Trite. I want to hear your answer.
That night, Luke Atme was at the KB security and the defense can't prove it! That's actually what it says to do. And I can't prove it.
Just as I thought.
But if we hear more of Detective Atme's testimony...
Unfortunately, that's as far as you go, Mr. Trite.
What do you mean?
I won't allow for any more testimony. That's what I mean.
What?
You've forgotten? Look at me. Is here after we interrupted his own trial. And you have failed to prove that he committed the murder. I think it's time for this witness to return to his own trial. And face his guilty verdict as Mask de Mask.
No!
Well now, Sir Lawyer, it seems that love wins out in the end after all. I am the ace detective as well as Mask de Mask. My verdict will verify that. Just as Rondelat will be verified as murderer. I declare that with the full force of my ace detectiveness. Order in the court. That's enough deliberation over this witness.
I can't believe this. At this rate, Ron is...
Don't give up now, Nick. We still have tomorrow. We can look for more evidence and...
By then, it'll be too late.
Huh? Why?
Double jeopardy. One of the basic rules of any court of law.
Double jeopardy?
Yeah, it only appears in this case for some reason.
Should the defendant be tried and found innocent in court, that defendant cannot be tried again for the same crime. This is a fundamental rule of all courts. And it applies to this witness as much as it applies to everyone else.
Mr. Atme will be found guilty in a matter of minutes. Guilty as Mask Star de Mask, which means
he will be innocent as far as the murder of Kane Bullard is concerned.
No, he wouldn't.
No way.
Because that's not double jeopardy. That's not even how that works. Let's see. Yeah, you're guilty of this, so that must mean you're innocent of other stuff. Yeah, that's double jeopardy. Yep.
The fact that you were unable to prove Mr. Atme's guilt of that crime scene here means that he will never again be tried as Kane Bullard's murderer.
Kane Bullard's murder is a different crime than stealing stuff. It's so dumb that they even go down this route. Wah! Wah! Luigi. Now there's nothing I can possibly do to win, even if Ron is proclaimed to be innocent. The real killer, Luke Atme, will go free. Well, we're almost done with this.
You have cross-examined every statement the witness has made here today, and as long as there is no more testimony, I'm afraid I have to declare that there will be no further questioning of this witness. Are there any objections?
And I hereby end the cross-examination of Luke at me.
I think I see it. Your Honor, when you were a child, was this what was on your report? This was what was on your report card every year. Has poor hearing and often makes mistakes as a result.
How did you?
Phoenix, raise your head up high. Have you forgotten what I used to tell you? A lawyer is someone who smiles no matter how bad it gets.
That voice, no way.
Long time no see, Phoenix.
Mia! This is the true power of the Kirin channeling technique. I know that it's really Maya who's standing before me, but right now she's my mentor, Mia Fey.
Now, let's do this. Couldn't really get through this trial without a true Phoenix, could we?
But there's nothing more we can do, Mia. Without any more testimony, I can't cross-examine.
Not yet. The testimony's not over yet.
What do you mean?
Your Honor, just now you said something very interesting. You have cross-examined every statement the witness has made here today.
Yes, that's true, but
Unfortunately, Your Honor, you're forgetting something. Earlier, after the last cross-examination, this witness made a number of remarks.
Well now, Sir Lawyer, it seems love wins out in the end after all. I am the ace detective as well as Mask the Mask. My verdict will verify that. Just as Ron Delight will verify that he is the true murderer. I declare, with the full force of my ace detectiveness.
yes, but these comments appear to have no importance whatsoever.
Very well, then we shall prove their importance via cross-examination. At any rate, as long as the witness has made these remarks, we, the defense, assert our right to question them. Is that alright with you, prosecutor?
This is an awkward reunion. Is something the matter, Mr. Godot? Nothing.
Oh, Sir Lawyer, it looks like you're one step too late. If you think such falsehoods will do anything to me, look at...
Let's hear it.
Huh?
It's true that the witness made some remarks. So let's hear this last bit of cross-examination.
Mr. Godot, what are you?
Very well then, Mr. Look at me. I'm going to allow the defense to cross-examine your earlier remarks.
The defense would like to hear why you declared the defendant to be the true murderer.
So please, give us one last bit of testimony.
Phoenix, this is it. This is our absolute last chance.
Yes, Chief.
The last testimony.
Okay, so just to be clear, this case is basically lost for Phoenix, right? But Godot, like, he doesn't object at all. He just, like, you're not supposed to, like, know this, I guess, but, I mean, you do. So, he sees his old dead girlfriend, and she's like, no, we need to cross-examine, and he's like, okay, and he just lets it go. Like, alright. Like, he would have won, but he was like,
Mia?
only in his voice, Mia. I don't know.
Indeed, it is true that I was not at Lordly Taylor. I had to leave to see about another vitally important job request. I had known about the date beforehand, so I had this photograph ready. My brilliant deduction was that informed me that the true culprit was Ron Delight. And thanks to the keycard and wallet, it was abundantly clear that he was here, that he was there. I was also able to make a deduction from the buzzer, which only sounded once. The button did not have any fingerprints on it. Why? The victim would have left prints if he sounded it, which means the killer sounded it. Mr. Delight was wearing his masked Star the Mask outfit, which is why he left no prints. And the blackmail letter? The victim likely just mistook the color of the jewel. Zvari! Therefore, all the evidence points to that poor boy. This testimony actually seems to hold up pretty well.
The witness's earlier remarks do not appear to have been hastily prepared. All of his points have been explained, and none of them seem to contradict anything.
But of course.
But how did you know about the emergency buzzer?
The police investigation documents went directly through me. And I always look over all the documents. It's elementary, sir lawyer. Grr!
Are you going to make even more trouble for us now, sir lawyer? I will not allow any of your usual shenanigans, Mr. Wright.
Yes, Your Honor.
We cannot postpone Luke Atmey's trial any longer. This is your last chance.
Hang on a sec, just one chance?
Ah, it seems that the party is about to begin.
Well, Phoenix, there isn't any evidence that contradicts with that testimony. So it would seem. What do you mean, so it would seem? Listen, Phoenix, pointing out contradictions doesn't always mean you have to present evidence, does it? At any rate, this is our last chance. If you can't point out the case-breaking contradiction, you'll lose. That's all there is to it. Oh, yeah, there he goes.
Up number 17.
I think in certain cases he goes past 17.
Up number 17. The last cup.
It seems... Well, maybe she got it from Godot, who just speaks in random metaphors that make no sense.
It seems like the time has come to put our trial to an end.
Put to end this trial, I think it said. I have to find a fatal contradiction in the testimony, and I need to point it out without presenting evidence. The game's basically telling you what to do. That was weird, the background flash twice? What? Oh, screw up. Okay. Which means all I can do is find the contradiction. Yeah, so he's saying just press. Remember, you only get one chance.
Very well then, Mr. Wright. Please begin with your final cross-examination.
So you get to press one and only one thing that he says. And if you screw up, you completely lose. Which is super dumb, by the way. So, and this testimony is ludicrously long compared to other testimonies. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 10, 11. Oops. Somewhere there's a huge contradiction and I gotta find it. As far as I can see, there's no evidence that contradicts his testimony. All you can do is press him, and you only get one shot. Yep, one chance or else you lose. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I think it's literally the longest testimony you ever get. Mr. Delight was wearing his mask-to-mask outfit, which is why he left no prints. That's apparently the one you have to press. Mr. Atmey, about this last remark.
Objection! You still don't get it, do you, Trite? This isn't the time to be pressing the witness on every little statement.
I'm afraid you're the one who still doesn't get it, Mr. Godot.
What?
Mr. Atmey, it seems you have finally admitted that you were in the CEO's office on the night of the murder. How can you say that? Let's review your testimony, shall we, Mr. Atmey? The button did not have any fingerprints on it. Why? Mr. Delight was wearing his mask-to-mask outfit, is that correct? Indeed, that is what I said. My deductions are absolutely foolproof. More like your deductions prove that you're a fool. I'm sorry, or whatever do you mean?
Some reason I'm starting to get really thirsty.
When exactly did we learn the fact that Ron Delight was dressed as mask-to-mask when he went to the scene of the crime?
That was, it was just a few hours ago. Back when my sixth cup was looking at me with a cold stare.
Oh, did I forget to mention it before? I'm sorry, I just never had a chance to mention it up until now.
So you had to remember that that was said while he was in the other courtroom. That's right, the defendant had yet to tell anyone else this fact before this morning. Therefore, the only people who should know this are the people who have been watching this trial. Ugh. Do you understand now, Detective Atmey? There is no way that you should have known about that. You were in the next courtroom being tried as Mask Star to Mask. So then, enlighten us. How did you know about that piece of information?
Huh? Well. Come on, this detective must have known about it. He probably had plenty of chances to find out beforehand.
And it's those chances that I want to discuss next. That night, Mr. Delight was wearing his Mask to Mask outfit. There is one and only one way for Detective Atme to have found that out.
Only one. One way, you say?
Please recall, if you will, Mr. Delight's testimony.
When I entered the office, there was a suspicious shadow there.
For a second, my client witnessed the real killer.
But Mr. Delight never saw his attacker. There is no way to tell whether or not the real killer was Look At Me.
It's with that statement that I'll turn this case on its head.
Just what are you implying?
Mr. Delight saw the real killer, correct? Now, if you turn that statement around, it stands to reason that the real killer had also seen Ron Delight.
Impossible.
Detective Atme, you saw Mask to Mask at the murder scene that night. You saw him when you killed Kane Bullard and assaulted Ron Delight. That was the only way you could have known what Ron was wearing. Oh, here he goes. He's gonna go nuts.
Take a good look, everyone. Unable to find a rival worthy of my genius, I was forced to create one myself. Here I am, the tragic clown.
That's the same line you gave yesterday.
But I think there's a little more meaning behind it this time.
What an awfully complicated incident. Kane Bullard was blackmailing Look At Me, who was in turn blackmailing Ron Delight, who was actually Mask to Mask, but only in the first part, where he met Look At Me. And then Look At Me became Mask to Mask, but only as a fake. And that's how he started blackmailing Ron Delight. But then he was getting blackmailed. And that all happened just
Okay, Judge, we get it.
Upon killing his blackmailer, Look At Me tried to frame Ron Delight. Then he claimed to be guilty as Mask to Mask in order to escape his true crime.
And to that end, he came up with this plan, to use the double jeopardy rule when making his alibi.
At any rate, it would seem we finally found the truth.
Excuse me?
I came perilously close to besmirching the record of an innocent young man.
He said that like 3 times already.
Besmirching him with the title of murderer.
Don't ignore me!
Oh, I didn't realize you were there.
Why wouldn't he be?
About the verdict.
I know. You never committed any murder.
That's right. I'm so glad you understand that, but I really am Mask to Mask!
Huh?
So, thanks to that trial yesterday, I'm innocent now, right? What was it you said? Double jeopardy?
Now that you mention it, I've been careless.
Careless? What do you think, Mia? As the defendant says, the rule of double jeopardy is absolute. We just made it up now and it'll never show up again, and actually doesn't really apply to this case, but who cares? Phoenix Wright logic, right? Phoenix Wright logic. The defendant can never be tried twice for a crime in which he was once found innocent, even though these are 2 separate crimes we're talking about. Then, Mask to Mask is really innocent? Oh, it seems so. For now. Like, yeah, he was innocent of that carjacking. It was somebody else. But he did do the murder later, but we found him innocent for the carjacking, so, you know. I know how double jeopardy works. Okay, double jeopardy works kind of how they're saying it, right? If you're tried for a crime and you're found innocent of the crime, they cannot retry you for that crime. The thing is, though, if there's new charges brought, so like, let's say you, like I said, carjacking and a murder. If you were found innocent of the murder, that doesn't mean that you're innocent of the carjacking. So if they found you innocent for murder and then there was a carjacking that was somehow linked to it or around that time, they wouldn't be like, well, we can't try him for the carjacking. They would be like, well, we're gonna try him for that because it's a separate charge. So it's just like that. And so that's the thing is these are two different charges. One's murder and one's theft. And they're in like two different places at two different times. And yet for some reason they're saying, you didn't murder anybody, Ron, so you're innocent. Because double jeopardy. For now.
Now then, this court finds the defendant
not guilty. Yeah, and it really didn't need to do that. Who cares? Put Ron in jail for grand larceny. Who cares?
Wait, this really is lucky. Wait, this isn't so good after all. You see, the thing is, I still am mask to mask after all.
You did it, Phoenix.
Thanks, Mia. It's been a long time, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's because Maya doesn't call on me much these days.
Oh?
Just joking, Phoenix. Don't take everything so seriously. But on the other hand, Maya, she seems kind of torn these days.
Actually, you've been in the first two cases of this game. You mean about the beginning? You mean about the becoming of the master of the Kirain schooling of channeling techniques?
Becoming the master means saying goodbye to our mother.
Misty Faye, right?
Watch over her, will you, Phoenix?
Of course.
Well then, see you around.
Mia.
Mr. Wright.
I don't know what to say. Congratulations, Mr. Delight.
Thank you so much. Wait, no, wait. Nothing really matters anymore, though. Now that happened.
Come on, just be happy already.
Maya.
You've been cleared of the murder charges and got off as mask to boot.
But in exchange, I lost everything.
Huh? What do you mean?
Stealing security information from KB Security, becoming mask to mask? I did it all for one reason, for her.
You mean your wife, Desiree?
She hates criminals more than anything.
Come to think of it, she was once held hostage by some robbers, wasn't she?
She always said how she hated sneaky criminals.
Oh, jeez. Of course. We're right at the very end of this.
I knew that, but once I got fired from KB Security and lost all the money I had, she wouldn't have had any reason to stay with me. I thought she would leave me for sure.
So that's why you became mask to mask?
Yes, but it's all over now. The broken bowl can never be put back together.
Wait, yeah, it can, the urn.
That's not true, right, Nick?
Right.
Really? We really go back to the way things were?
You'll be fine, and Nick can prove it.
This is dumb. I can? I wish you could check with me first. Mr. Delight, even if a bowl is broken, there's always a way to put it back together. Here's the Amy statue, or Amy urn, which means nothing.
Sacred urn. Desi was the one who found this.
Desiree, your wife, she's always believed in you, Ron. That's why you'll be fine. You don't have to worry about anything.
Ah, there you are.
Miss Delight.
You did it, Ronnie. You're innocent. I'm so happy.
Thank you. I appreciate that, but I suppose you don't want anything more to do with me, do you?
Ronnie, why didn't you talk to me about what was going on? I had no idea you'd quit KB Security. I never imagined that you were really mask to mask either.
Mr. Light, what are you going to do now that you know? You're not going to really leave him, are you?
Come on, it's obvious, isn't it? I could never let a wonderful man like him get away. After all, my bike's really fast. So fast there's no way he could ever get away.
But didn't you say that you hated criminals?
Oh. I only hate people who act all cowardly and sneaky. Like that detective. Or
Mask to mask? I see.
my Ronnie went and declared his crimes before he committed them, like a man.
That was the detective that did that, wasn't it? What?
I just love a man who's so chivalrous.
Chivalrous.
I knew I was right about you. Every day I spent with you is filled with thrills and excitement.
Izzy.
Desiree, you really do love Ron, don't you?
Nicky boy,
Yes?
I'm really glad I asked you to defend my Ronnie. Thank you so much. I'll never forget what you've done for us.
Oh, well, take care of yourself.
You too, Nicky boy.
Gulp, I can feel my face going red.
Mr. Nick, Mystic Maya, congratulations. She's gonna slap me.
Talk about bad timing.
Mr. Nick, how could you, with another man's wife in front of Mystic Maya?
No, you got it all wrong.
I'll never forgive you, ever, ever.
Never ever. So just as the case came to a close, so too did my consciousness. She knocked him out. Ron said, a broken bowl can never be put back together, but I know that's not true. I mean, just look. Aww. Here's a perfect example of one that's been put back together with even better than before. Just gonna save that in a separate save file. Brand new episode has been added. Oh, no. Dang it. Every time that happens. Oh, okay, good. It lets me save.
Ronnie. No more Ronnie.
Okay. That's it. We did it. We've done it. It has been done.
That's enough. This court sees no reason to further prolong this stream. This is extremely clear, and there's no room for misinterpretation. This stream is over.
Alright. Thanks for watching. It's just going by itself. This is the start of the third case. So we're gonna let this just kind of run, and then once it stops, I'll end the stream. So if I remember, this case is not so good, but it's funny.
Well, I'd say that pretty much wraps this up, wouldn't you, Mr. Wright?
This court finds the defendant.
It's still going. This is still the intro. Guilty.
This court is adjourned.
It starts with you like losing. This whole thing, it's like a joke. Anyway, all right, we're done. So thanks for watching. I love you too, and we will catch up on this maybe. I think I'm kind of busy tomorrow. Maybe Sunday. Bye bye.